welcome to, I believe, episode 4, right? It's all starting to run together up here. So, welcome to episode 4 of the Nuadan Chronicles. I'm like an episode or two ahead, so I was like, what do I want to do next time? So, I do want to point out, Tidor, thank you for backing at least the PDF level of the backer kit. That's great. I'm excited to see that people are enjoying our stuff, and it's making them excited to get involved in the game. I'll push my mic out of frame here, so not to ruin the illusion that I'm actually talking to you and there's no technology here.
How dare.
Powered by my red flux crystal. There you go. Get it done there. That's how it works. Speaking of making up lore as we go along, red flux crystals transmit audio, and that's it. It's in canon now. So
I'm gonna write that down, and that's gonna bite you in the ass.
You're gonna write. Yeah, there you go. There you go. It's like, nope, sorry.
I'm sure the audience is also writing it down.
Yeah, we're gonna call it. We're gonna call in reinforcements on this red flux crystal. Love it. I love it. So, welcome back, episode 4. I think I have to get a title, and I had it was the Tomb of the Watcher. That's what we're gonna call it here. As I dropped that little piece of lore, so welcome. The Furiously writes down as well. I am both drunk with power and terrified with the amount of responsibility Broken Dice Games is giving me here. I am going to be writing checks that they have to cash. And there you go. I'll tell you what needs to be in the book, and I think they've already done this, is there needs to be a sidebar on Dragon Spit. I feel like if it's there, I have done my job. Dragon Spit. So is Mitch. Just making it up. The Everclear of the Nuadan Chronicles. But welcome back, everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to breeze through some things real fast. Our consent mechanics, if you're very excited about those, please watch episode 1. We go into more detail. Long story short, we have 3 kinds of topics: green, yellow, and red. Green is good for everybody. Yellow, we have to warn players or get their permission ahead of time. Everyone at our virtual table here has to be comfortable with them. Red topics are things we do not discuss. They may happen in the Nuadan Chronicles world. It is a dark place where terrible things can happen. Gods come out of the sky. The moon is shattered. All sorts of things can happen, but it's just not the focus of our game. Anything can go up our spectrum, but it cannot go down without we would have a private meeting ourselves to discuss that. So if a topic comes up and someone's like, I prefer that to be a red topic, we're just going to move on. You want more details? Check out the first episode. But let's move on after that. We're going to do introductions and who we're playing. And my favorite question is what you enjoyed about last game and what you're excited for this game. Before I start, one more thanks to our sponsors: Black Void Games, Evil Hat Productions, Christopher Gray, Smunchy Games, Broken Dice, of course, Mighty Norwal, and Arukana Media. I hope I'm saying that right. I think I say that every time. No one yells at me, so it sounds like it's right. Thank you guys for supporting Weave the Tale and all of the fun content here. It's what makes all this fancy stuff. And by that I mean everyone and everything outside of I'm cheap as hell, but everybody else out here is expensive or they don't come at all. Just kidding. Half of us are here for fun anyway. So to introduce myself, I am Adam. I'm the Vampire Interpreter. You can find me on Instagram at the Vampire Interpreter. I've recently used Twitter for the 3rd time, and I'm not even sure what my Twitter handle is. It's something Vampire Interpreter, but the end got cut off. So if you're interested in finding more about me, my posts, I will be the Game Master for the Nuadan Chronicles. But the people you're really here to see is not me. Oh, wondering where Raquel is. Raquel, I believe, I don't want to get into Raquel's personal details, but she told us that she wasn't going to be able to be here this week. So, as is always going to happen, she will be.
Nothing bad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's all good stuff, but it's not my business to talk about what Raquel does in Raquel's free time, whether or not it's terrible or amazing. So, but they messaged us, so we know they're alive. Everything's good. They're not going to be here this week. We will.
This was
we're probably going to stay on the ship or follow along as like an automaton, and equipping.
Oh, it's an escort mission.
Yeah, it's an S. Yeah, you're going to lead the NPC around.
Why? Why would you give him this idea?
Yes, there you go. Escort mission. Lead the engineer to the reactor. Protect the engineer as it does its work with a little time bar. Very video game here. All right, so that's who I am. Raquel will not be here tonight, but these amazing people are just as much fun. Let's go ahead and start with, there we go, Zia, Thanya, or Alex. Alex, introduce yourself, who you're playing, what was fun about last week, and what you're excited for this week.
Hi, I'm Lex. You can find me on Instagram at a redhead vixen. I play Zithania. Last game, I'm really torn because I absolutely loved my shady everything with Einar, but I'm pretty sure the real best part of the game has to go to our first mate. Hands down, not even up for debate.
Awesome. So do I need to get teeth or something to be a squirrel?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No more demons for you, only ferrets. Deal.
I would propose a donation tier for buck teeth, but
A plus. I don't know if I could get it in time for next episode. That would be my only concern.
That's the
Well,
only
moving
concern.
on. Yeah, you can't. Moving on. No, yeah, that's my only concern. Yeah. What are you excited about this week? That's not buck teeth.
I'm really
For
looking
you
forward
to
us
buy
all...
some fluffy ears.
Yeah, waiting on it. I'm really excited for the group, unfortunately minus Raquel, to get to interact off the ship kind of stuff. It's been great gathering the crew, and that's my favorite part of every heist movie, but I'm looking forward to it moving on now.
Awesome. And let's drop down to you, Catherine. Introduce yourself. Favorite part about last episode and what you're looking forward to this episode.
Hi, I'm Catherine. I'm playing Rhea. You can find me on Instagram at smallfry. Last game. There's so many good parts last game. I will say, though, I really enjoyed interacting with the snake people that I immediately thought was going to kill me. So fighting with my book was definitely the point. But this episode, I think I'm kind of hoping that there's a little bit of a Mission Impossible style where we're just like duh, 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 trying to hide behind all the rocks to get, 19 ships? Right, guys?
You keep
But
adding more and more each time. You keep doing You're just like, oh yeah, this is 19, this is 24, 36.
I don't know. Someone tell me. I feel like I'm right. Someone tell me in the chat.
A dozen, and then you were
yeah, I heard 5.
I
heard there were no ships at all.
I was so bad. You're
yeah,
right.
I heard
I'm
there was
so
totally
sorry.
no ships. So
There was totally no ships.
They just vanish. All right, so
Exactly.
that's Mission Impossible. I don't have my pen, but I just opened up a notes pad. Maybe I'll take some notes there. Mission Impossible. But let's jump over to Mitch. Mitch, introduce yourself. Favorite part about last week and what you're looking forward to this week.
Yeah, my name is Mitchell. You can find me on all the socials at Penny for a Tale. I am most looking... Well, what I liked from last session was all of Queen Jamil's, or aka First Mate PP, shenanigans with all of the different characters. And today, I'm really just looking forward to just GM shenanigans where all of us players are just in the backdrop and your screen enlarges and it's just First Mate PP shenanigans the whole game. So I'm expecting and kind of anticipating that. So make it happen.
Okay, gotcha. It's
3
terrifying that you
3 to 4 hours of
control the
cuteness.
people that do the text. And then I'm gonna see it just enlarge to me. Everyone mutes.
Exactly.
All right. Last but certainly not least, John, introduce yourself. Favorite part about last week. What you're looking forward to this week.
hello everybody. I am Jonathan, player of Einar. You can find me on Twitter as Nox Eternus. My favorite part about last week, besides First Mate PP, which I unfortunately have to pretend to be very disapproving of. But I absolutely love, and I'm here for PP Plushie. Was throwing shade with Lex about our very broken relationship. As far as what I am looking forward to this week, seeing what crazy shenanigans we get up to if we end up having to fight anything, since the last time I did that, that ended so well for my opponent.
You do have the hand cannon, you know. I feel like it needs a fancy name, like the tornado gun or something. I don't know.
It does.
Typhoon. Typhoon.
Just
Typhoon.
it's,
Anyway,
it's
that
your
is its name
gun.
now.
Just name your own gun.
Yeah.
I absolutely
It's
will.
Typhoon.
I will
Yeah.
come up with it. Yeah, Typhoon. That
Alright.
that is its name now, unless the audience has a better idea. So
There
Yeah.
we go. Hey, yeah,
It
if you
should
guys-
depend.
drop
It should
a couple-
change depending on the magic you use.
There you go. Your gun has
Like a
multiple
magical girl
personalities. His magical girl power.
I'm-
Gotcha.
Magical
All
I
right,
girl
am
so
here
power.
for this.
We called Mandy. Chat, any gun name ideas? Yeah, I do like that. That would be kind of fun. Yeah, let's keep an eye.
Yeah,
Let's keep an
Absolutely.
eye. That might be kind of fun. A little small way you guys can contribute. So yeah, that being said, let me go up. I did not. I had time. I just missed it to print out the adventure I have here, which is still another outline. But it went well last time. So why fix what ain't broken?
What could go
once
wrong?
again, Jonathan's character wants to know how we wound up at the center. All right, so
the problem is, Mr. Paulo. The problem is that I know how I wound up saddled with all of these problems, and it'll.
Rokar. Blame Rokar.
Oh yeah, Rokar. I blame Rokar.
exactly. It's all.
Look, we have 2 wardens
Okay.
on this ship. We just gotta team together, push through, and accomplish the
I
job.
forgot.
Okay, that's
I forgot you need.
I know that you can't count Rokar, but
2.
I like-
You, me.
Mercy. Ooh, Mercy sounds like a cool name. I like that. There you go. We'll let Anar decide what the final name is. Hopefully, we'll give you a nice moment here tonight. But let's go ahead and get started. Where we last left our heroes. I don't remember what time of day it was when I initially set it up, but it's now. This episode is what time of day it is now. It is approaching dusk. You guys had just finished discussing with the Jengu, and you're on a timetable on when they're apparently going to attack. You've learned that they have blood magic, which is apparently good at just corroding stone. You have no idea what it will do to a boat, but probably nothing good. Around the bend, and in the small little bay, is where you guys are trying to go, where the projector has told you. So the question is, how do we get there? I'm going to propose for the group a particular solution, and you can. And it's only because Raquel is not here. I'm going to toss that out. If you don't like that idea and you're like, no, our characters would do something different, we'll just do whatever you want. But this is what I was thinking, knowing that Raquel would be absent. Your idea was going to be, well, you can't leave your boat here unguarded. You don't want to come around the bay because that's going to run. There's one of you and an exponentially growing amount of ships. As you guys, each time you tell the story, leave the ship here with what's left of the Inquisition ship. She will stay behind, loot it, guard your ship while you guys take a little dinghy out to the bay and go across the land and sneak up. So then that kind of leaves her over here, does separate her, but my hope is that won't be a big deal. But if you guys don't like that, I wrote an outline for a reason. So that's my proposal to the group, but feel free to say, nah, we're going to do something else. So
I'm here for this.
go ahead. What's the
I
plan?
think it makes. I'm here for this. I think it makes sense to leave somebody on our ship that can potentially rush to get help if we do something very ill-advised and stupid.
Us? That doesn't
Which
sound
we will.
right.
No, we definitely will. This is going to happen.
And probably, while I trust First Mate PP to pull our fat out of the fire, it would probably be a good idea to have somebody that can actually speak English.
Oh yeah, she's still learning that. Yeah.
All right, so it sounds like we like this premise. So we're gonna kind of fast forward through that part. You guys bring with you a reasonable amount of supplies, maybe a ration, rope, lights, all our typical dungeon adventure gear, as it were. Whatever you guys
bath
normally
bombs.
bring along. Yeah, and bath bombs. Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Hey, you never
Rubber
know when you need a bath bomb.
duckies.
Exactly.
Or great
Pretty good
distractions.
distraction.
We're all gonna die.
One single smoke bomb hidden somewhere.
That's where the bath bomb
Unsubscribe.
is.
I'm gonna draw your attention.
Bath bomb,
to the
smoke
I
bomb.
hope not.
I like Tidorf's offering of the name of your gun is that it's Ziathania. It's named after your ex, both loud and full of air.
Hey!
That's cold-blooded.
It is!
I'll leave you to
That
think
is-
on that.
that is
Tidorf, that was a
cold-blooded.
good one. That was a good one. I will let
I know,
you.
right? Tidorf, the
I will
man.
let you decide if that's the name. Love it, love it. All right, so you guys, as dusk falls, it's the light of the sun has yet to disappear. It's that kind of red and orange overcast that is starting to blanket this lightly wooded area that will essentially, so if you think of, I'm going to give you guys kind of the top-down perspective. So think of the land that kind of goes like this. You guys are down here, like my sign language I'm using here, kind of. Except your boat is huge in my description. And then the bay goes up around here. You guys want to go here, but you're going to kind of hop over, take your peek, and that's what we're doing. I hope that was a crude enough drawing for you guys to get what's happening. You cross the water, lightly forested, red-orange overcast. What's the plan? So I will leave you guys to roleplay that, and I will interject if anything becomes important.
I mean, I'm happy to let the Captain Gentleman speak first, since he is the ship-faring one.
Oh yeah, sure. I say let's just go for it. A little bit of sneaky sneak all the way around. Get to the island, grab the stuff, hop back on, come out as a hero. Preferably, it's not priceless. It has a price. There is a price. Be rich. Sometime about 2 years later from now, or maybe on the trip itself, on the way back, I find someone or a couple of people. We settle down. We have a house just on the edge of the dock. It's nice. We use the money from the ship, the Peregrine, that I sell, in order to have an addition to said house. I don't do it myself. I'm not really up into that sort of thing. But nonetheless, my partners want it, so I have it. It's amazing.
I would like to interject that
What's up?
your ship is not as valuable if Zathania takes back the crystal.
Okay, all right.
That's a very
So,
good point.
can I have my dream, or are you just here to squish it?
Oh, I'm
We're
sorry.
here trying to make a
just-
plan. I'm not here to listen to you dream.
It's
Just
a 5-year plan, and I think the plan will work out fine.
I
so,
just
let's
wishing
do what we
dreams.
can.
let's have a
I
5-hour
need the
plan.
I was gonna say 5 minute, 5 hour. Because we don't even have 5 days if we don't get out of here.
Well, I'm going to get out of here.
Let's have the 5-hour plan.
All right.
So
So,
yes, never fear. Lokar will get off an island.
well, yeah, of course. In that case, you're bringing up Zai Zai. I had a ship, and I just kind of swooped away out into the sunset. But hey, you look great on the island. So, and you look good now. So I think we're all square here. Regardless, 5 hours. Let's just go. gonna start waddling over
All right,
there.
so it sounds like get 'em Ray is the plan, or at least that's
Yeah.
Captain John's plan.
I believe the plan is to sneak around, hopefully not have to get him Ray. Hopefully not.
Gotcha. Okay.
We're
All
just,
right,
we're just,
I like
Rokar and I are just sprinting from tree to tree because we don't know how to do the thing, so we're just.
Yeah, do our own theme
Setting
music.
the scene, they are doing their own
Sorry,
theme
I
music.
have a red
Inar
flux
and
crystal
Zathania are just
that's
walking.
playing in the background.
Mhm.
Wait, I don't have a gun. Rokar, give me your gun.
It's a sniper
Neither
rifle. I'm
of
not
them
giving
should
you a
have
sniper
guns.
rifle. It's just.
Really
I
shouldn't.
guess you can if it makes you feel better. Here's the sniper rifle. Be nice to
Okay,
him.
Steve.
But yeah, just okay. I guess I have a bullet.
They're
I have
sneaking
my
from tree to
bullets.
tree. Inar and Zathania are just walking.
Very
Like
much.
normal
I like
people.
it. there's a clip in what is it? Is it Galaxy Quest? Is that it? Where like
Yep,
the
yep.
lead character is like ducking and rolling. Like,
He's like
Exactly.
roll. Yeah, that's basically
just-
it.
Yep, no, there's now ducking and rolling where we're actually synced, so we'll like cross paths as we go to like
Mhm.
separate trees.
Yeah,
Gotcha. I love
we're
it.
like against the trees, like making signs to each other, like.
And they don't mean
Gosh, I
They
love
would
anything.
both, they would both be so incredibly effective if they put this much energy and effort into actually getting the job done.
Exactly.
I don't
I'm gonna
believe
give-
that.
I like that. I'm gonna give everyone a bonus success rating to their agility check. If you need me to
Wait,
list
we
all the
have to
numbers real
roll?
quick.
We
You
described
guys are
it so
accidentally
well.
doing magic.
Exactly. And then you're gonna take the flux and blow up later. I'm just kidding. All right. So he checks
Yeah,
these.
who
Give me
knew?
their numbers real quick. Jonathan, yours is 24.
Thank you.
Mitch, yours is 30. Alex, yours is 35. Catherine, yours is 30.
I will consult my dice corgi briefly to grab the dice I need. Give me a moment.
No problem.
All right, so 6, 7.
29, so just my 3 successes.
Got one success
Gotcha.
or 1 degree of success.
Yeah, that's 1 success rating. I have my
13
tiny
gold.
dog finding it in here. Go away, Nora. Go away.
Well, with the extra success,
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yes.
break even.
With the extra success is 2.
Gotcha.
It would have been
13
fail.
gold and I'm bad at
now
math.
it's just a,
So would you get, John? I'm sorry, you said you're bad at math.
I rolled 13 and I'm terrible at math.
Well, you at least got 3 successes, I believe, John. Let me check you here. So if you get a 19, so next
Excellent.
you actually have 3 successes exactly. No, nothing changing
Excellent.
with that. That being said, Rhea has a failure. So
Oh.
Tidorf wants me to bring my giant lizard to storytell with me. I would do that, except he would knock everything over.
accurate.
That being said, speaking of knocking things over, not being particularly sneaky or silent, we have. So everyone else is doing a good job. Okay.
There's a route.
Speaking of- Yeah, I'm just like, speaking of derailing my plans early, here we go.
You guys don't even make it
Okay.
there.
Yeah, no, so.
Let's go.
So while everyone else is sneaking around, right, what I like is you don't pay attention, and you are going to trip and fall. So like the way I see it, so you guys are getting close. You're getting close towards your objective, where a lot of the boats are gathered, and you guys can see a crowd of people forming. As you get there, you start to see a small temporary camp that has been set up, that the Inquisition is starting to occupy the area. You then also begin to see the obvious kind of edifice of a Thesharid structure. and the hill drops off quite quickly, and you slip and fall. You don't plummet or anything like that, but you do have a nice little as you fall down the hill. Not being particularly quiet, but not getting a lot of attention. So you roll into the corner of this camp. And we're going to say, you know what? Just because this is an action comedy, I'm going to love this. And you didn't fail that much. You're going to roll right into the camp, right on a bedroll. What do you do?
Right on a bedroll?
Yes.
I am just grab a blanket and pretend that I'm sleeping with just like a little eye poke.
Gotcha.
There's some. If we're doing an action comedy, there's some face snores.
Gotcha. I love it. I love it. All right. So Einar, Ziathanya, and Rokar. So as you guys are moving, like you hear snap, and you see this. You guys are still, you believe to be relatively well hidden, and that's what you see. What do the three of you do?
Where's my gun?
You did say you gave it to her, so it's with her.
Okay, I'm like,
I'm cuddling it in bed.
okay, I have to go get that. And he'll start kind of like sliding down carefully.
I am going to try grabbing him by the scruff of his
I'm just gonna
Like a
watch this
kitten,
comedy
I'm
of
going to
errors
attack.
occurring.
I'm going to
all
attempt to
taken care
her
of.
like a kitten to keep him from doing this.
I'm going to say, for right, we're not going to have any rolls here right now, because I like the role play of you talking to Rokar before he commits to the decision. So go ahead. So you
Let me go.
Rokar before he goes down, and you're able to role play before anything happens.
Just gonna grab it
No,
real quick.
you are not. No, you are not doing this. You're not going to be stupid.
That's not stupid. It's a. How many?
It's
It is
incredibly
absolutely
stupid.
fucking moronic.
If something
We'll be down
happens and
two of you.
something bad will happen.
Something.
Right now.
If something bad happens, she has a gun to defend herself with.
Can she use it?
Point
I'm
and
sure she
shoot.
can figure it
It's not-
out.
Come on.
It's a sniper rifle. It's not point and shoot. There's a whole thing that goes along with it.
Right, realistically,
Not when they're
it
that
is still
close to
point and
her.
shoot. You know that.
Oh my
Come on.
god, she's gonna
Don't
die.
be
I
stupid.
liked her too.
You're going to draw more attention if you go tromping on down this hill down there towards her.
All right, then how do we get her back? Because right now there is two of us who can actually do
Let's
something.
take
I have a
few
bullet.
minutes. Let's take a minute or two
I'm gonna
to
use my
figure it
gun.
out.
Why did I give it to her? I think I just kind of, I don't know. She's just been very friendly like the whole time.
Because you're very stupid.
Well, hold on. She wanted it. Maybe I'm just very kind and compassionate, and I was like, "Here, hold
I'm
this."
going to
gun."
attempt to haul him back up
The
the
two
hill.
can go hand in hand.
So the sun
Fine.
has gone down over the horizon. At that point in time, there is a mechanical boom, 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 and everyone in the camp will begin to start moving towards the center. And an inquisitor, wrapped in, here's me making shit up again, wrapped in purple robes, will approach the bedroll with Rhea. So
This is
There's
going
a-
to
there's
end
a target.
badly.
And now I've got to check something. Oh God, Catherine, here we go.
I'm
Oh
gonna-
God.
I'm gonna pull out my smoke bomb.
You know Marathi. You know what he's going
I
to say.
do
to
know
you.
Marathi.
You know Marathi.
Yep.
All right. Sister, awaken. It is time for prayer.
Yes. Can you hand me? Can you hand me my robe? Can you hand me my robe? I'm definitely not wearing anything. So hand me my robe and then let me.
You know what? Give me a charisma check. For you, that's 40%. You're starting with 4 degrees of success. I have no reason to penalize it, so let's go.
Okay. Fail by 1.
Fail by 1, so you take your 4
Fail by
degrees of
1.
success. Boom, knocks it to
Yes.
3. So
No, because that's
of
sorry,
course.
failed by 1. I have a 91 with my
you did the math
versus my
for
40.
me.
No. I did the math for you. I failed by 1.
Oh no. Oh no.
Sister, you know you don't have to. You do not have to wear the robes. Come, and he will reach in and kind of he's going to try to help you up. He is being polite at this point in time. He doesn't suspect anything sinister, but he does not seem to be taking your, oh no, let me get a robe.
So I'm looking at Anar, and I'm gonna go reach for my smoke bomb, and I'm like,
So I'm going to
Anar is gonna
try
look at
something
Z.
here, and I'm going to see if I can mechanically do something smart. Because I, the player, am a little lost. So I have a logic skill.
See, I don't think logic's gonna help with that. So let me take a look at some stuff here.
I had to try. Okay.
No, I'm good. I'm good, you know. So, what I'm gonna need you to make, I'm gonna try to give you a little bit more, some cultural context here. Give me a knowledge Uldris check, but I'm only gonna give you starting 4 degrees of success instead of 6. So, Apacho says, your D10s need an exorcism.
Yep. It's okay. Thank you very much, actually, because this was an intelligence, right?
Yes.
Okay. Cool. I succeed by. Let's see, I got 40. So succeed by 1. Add to that by 7. Sorry, by 5 since you took away the 2. So by 5.
So here's what. So that's plenty of degrees of success or success. Yeah. Gives you enough success rating, just to use the terminology of the Nuadan Chronicles. What's happening here is you're being called to prayer, but you will know enough that this individual is telling you the truth.
Yep.
Yeah, like you getting up in your clothes, except for the fact that you may not match everyone here, but you can also see enough people moving around that not everyone is in the purple robes of an Inquisitor. So you could
I've got blue and purple technically, so.
Yeah, the more you go with the Inquisitor, the more you get surrounded by zealots.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna leave that up to you to decide. Do you just go along with it and hope you don't get caught, or do you do something risky? I don't want to say do the dumb. Risky.
I am going to get out without making sure you can see the gun, and I'm going to pull up my hood, and I'm going to very slowly go with the Inquisitor.
All right, so the Inquisitor leads you to prayer, and the sniper rifle is left behind.
You clearly see that I leave without it, so you're welcome.
Thank you, oh Lord in the sky.
Go.
All right, so as Rhea goes off with the Inquisition to prayer, what do the three of you do?
Can't do it with this, but I got my hood.
Rokan, go get your rifle, then come right back here.
Yeah, not.
I will try to help lower him down so that he makes less.
It's
I'm
the
still
captain,
just watching
gentleman,
this
or
shit show going on.
the gentle captain, whichever you prefer. One of the two. Rokan is kind of my second name, or third name. It's really only usable in legal documents, and even then, only in certain countries and districts.
I've known you since you were in short pants. Go get your damn rifle.
I'm always in short pants. All right, put me down. I feel like a little baby
All right,
in
Rokar.
arms. I'm gonna
you
start
can give
sliding
me-
down.
Gosh, I like your.
At least we'll know what to
athletics or
put on his
acrobatics. They're both the same for
gravestone.
you.
You want athletics? You said.
They're the same for you. Athletics and acrobatics is the same for you.
Cool.
There's no way this ends terribly.
2 successes. 2 success rating.
I don't see any way this can end anything but terribly.
Is that what you rolled, or is that
Too
the,
high.
That's
is
after
that the
everything.
end result? Oh,
That's the end
that's
result.
after.
Ready to
Cool.
run?
See, you guys are starting to learn. So you're doing all the math for me. Mhm. All right. Yeah. So you're able to move down this. It like I said, it wasn't a cliff. It was just very steep. You roll down, and you're there silently by the bedroll.
What is its softness level on like a scale of 1 to 10?
The bedroll? Oh, okay. I thought.
Yeah.
um,
I'm like,
if 10 being luxurious, 1 being sharp rocks, it's like a 3.
okay, yeah, I don't like it. I'm definitely going to get my sniper rifle. And are there any tents nearby? I can sneak on and.
Oh yeah, there were tents and there are plenty of things nearby for you to go pilfering and/or investigating.
Yes, I'm going. So I am trying to find outfits for us 3 to bring back and change into. Specifically for Izai, I want something baggy and very unattractive.
Gotcha. Now in character, your other motivation is going to be, the Inquisition hates magic users, and the tattoos of her Sundarian heritage will no doubt attract the ire of the Inquisition.
Oh yeah,
And
that
you're
too. Helping her with that is also on my mind, but mostly it's just making her look silly.
All right, I love it. Okay. So, okay, yeah, give me
Unintentionally
perception.
helpful.
Say again?
I do want to. So it's a perception check. You do have your swashbuckling talent, background can apply up to 4 times a day.
Yeah.
But I think you used it at least once last game, so you're down to.
Yeah,
3.
I believe so.
Yeah.
So perception. All right. A total of 5.
5. All right. You to the. I would say to the shock and horror, maybe not shock, but at least the horror of Einar and Ziathanya as they are walking, they're like, oh good, he got there safely. Now if he just comes back, why is he going away? What is he doing? As he moves into another tent. You did well enough. You are in the tent of some Inquisitors. No one's in there, but if you're looking about for clothes, is high or low good for you guys?
Low.
Do a random roll.
Low.
Low is good. All right. There is only one unattended outfit. Or attended outfit. I guess you could take it from somebody, but there's one outfit in there that is useful.
I'm like, dude, give me your pants. All right, I'll just start stripping and getting the outfit on. Just kind of.
All right. So you're gonna put it on? Okay, so there you go. You
So
are
he's gonna
dressed.
make Zathanya wear his clothes.
Yup.
Meanwhile, up there, Einar's. I don't know what I expected.
What the hell
and
is he
also-
doing?
How are
I don't
these
know.
sleeping rolls on a scale of 1 to 10 in terms of softness? Any
The-
like
these
purple
sleeping
bed
rolls have-
rolls?
Is he stealing things?
Are you
Nothing's gotten
surprised?
any better.
Oh man.
Right,
Back
Leave
so
him down
while
there.
you guys are
I'm just saying.
We could.
while you guys are doing that, we're gonna go over to Rhea, who's being brought to the prayer circle at the beach.
Okay. Cool. So was my knowledge check good enough to know what's going on? See, I can't do that with
Yes.
this. It's so chunky. I need a new one.
Yeah, I got fancy here. I'm using all this, but that's okay. Hold on here. I gotta just check a note real fast here. Though you don't want to. So there is at the head of the beach near a you know what? I'm gonna be fancy. I'm gonna be fancy real quick, people. This is what I spend the big bucks on here. As we're gonna change the background. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, I know, you guys are so-
I'm in a lot of
this is
trouble.
wrong.
This is a little soupy.
At the beach is a hooded figure with Marathi marks on their face. It is the one of the lead priestesses. They're called, so essentially in the Marathi religion there are Water Seers, and they're very important. The high priest, this is essentially to have an earthly equivalent, the Pope. So this is kind of like an archbishop or a cardinal. So, fellow faithful, we have come here on a holy mission. 2 holy missions, to be precise, to reclaim our lost citizens who have strayed far from the light of the God Queen, but also to witness the true form of one of the Watchers. They indicate the shard structure, which would be behind you, but so behind you, but ahead of them. In there, we hope to learn the secrets of what happened and seek to correct the damage that mankind has done in its arrogance. The God Queen came to us to show us the way. And her light indicates actually the North Star, the brightest star in the sky. Her light has guided us through the seas and has guided us here. Come forward and be baptized so that we may enter the tomb of a Watcher. And everyone begins to line up to be baptized. And that includes you, Rhea.
Yup. What does the baptisms look like?
So the baptisms itself is really it's for the most part it's going to be kind of a dunking in the ocean. There's a lot more additional things to it. There's confession and all that other business. But to you, especially as far back as you are, by the way, there's probably about 150 guys here at least. See, actually, yeah, it's probably even more. I said there was nearly a dozen ships. They each probably had a crew of at minimum 25. So there you go, 250, 300 people here. So, yeah.
And the structure's right behind me.
Yes. I mean, that being said, sneaking off wouldn't be difficult, but it's not going to be easy if you want to try to sneak off. Like if you just wander towards the back of the line.
All right. Okay. Strong narrative choices.
Okay, I love them.
I'm going to look really excited, and I'm going to push my way towards the front of the line so I can get baptized and get the fuck out.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. If I'm done first, no one questions me when I'm walking away. Nice. I like it. I like it. You know, when I'm roll for that, that's a strong decision. I like it. So okay. Well, let's jump over to the other team here real fast. What do you got? All right, so you have your Inquisitor outfit, Rokar, and you have what's left of your lovely used clothing. What do you want to do?
Kind of all stuffing it into my boxes. I'm going to throw it back up and be like, "Get into it and come on down. No one's around.
Wait.
We're fine."
Did you say like you took off your boxers, stuffed it in, and then threw your boxers with the clothes?
Yeah, it's like, I'm in the Inquisitor clothes, so like all my clothes I've just stuffed in a ball and then put my boxers around it so it's stretchy, and then like.
Okay, I just had to make sure for my
Get that mental
Yeah,
image.
no, that's fair.
I had to get that mental
fair.
image, even though I'm not there. Like that I needed to comprehend that. Thank you very much. You may
All right.
continue.
Good.
So, flying toward you, Anar and Zeothania, is Rokar's boxers with his clothing. What do you want to do?
Dodge.
I'm not touching any of those.
Gotcha. All right, we won't roll to dodge the underwear. This is although we should, in a light way, we will joke about our consent systems. Yellow topic. I want to dodge that. I don't like to joke about them too often because they're important, but at the same time, yellow topic, no boxers. So yes, you do dodge the boxers. They land next to you harmlessly. There's no smoke bombs in them, as far as you know. And he's
Oh no,
down there like,
that's
"Come
with
on."
me.
Gotcha.
No. What are you thinking?
We're infiltrating.
You just
I
go
don't
get
speak
her.
that language.
And neither can I, but we'll wing it. We gotta get
I'm not
Raya,
winning
right?
anything with him.
Turns out the 5-hour plan was actually 5 minutes.
Yeah. There's a 5-year plan and there's a
Right.
5-minute plan. Everything in between is just kind of.
Just
You go
go
get
down
her.
there and warden all over them.
Warden all over them?
Go tell them what to do.
Go on.
That's your job, right? Tell them what to
Go
do.
on, Warden.
All right, fine. All right, cool. He's gonna start
right,
heading
so
to where the
He's
other
going to
cults are.
die down there now.
He absolutely
All right,
is. At least 2
Zeophania
of us will now
and
be down
Anar.
here. We'll be up here to rescue them.
So what's the
Here's the
plan?
plan.
You guys, where you are, you don't have a great vantage points of the prayer. You could move, or you could see closer to the Thashard structure.
We don't have the projector though, do we?
As far as you know, the projector's not necessary. The projector's more of a map than it's not necessarily a key.
Also,
Not
I
as
feel
far as
like
you know.
because it's
That
kind
being
of
said,
heavy, we
the
wouldn't have brought it
expert
with
is
us.
in the expert's in line for communion, so we just can't avoid that in my games. Communion.
Structure.
Structure. And we are leaving
so
his
you two are-
boxers on the ground with his clothes in. Fuck that.
Absolutely leaving his boxers there.
All right. I love it.
We're gonna
I
take
may
a
just
wide
kick them
berth
under a
around it,
random
in
bush.
fact.
I'll kick him under a random bush. Scrape my shoe in the dirt a little bit.
That's
All
fair.
right. So Rokar, we're gonna you guys will you start moving up and you start to see this line develop. Now you are a worldly gentleman captain. You have seen services like this before. You've probably even had no doubt have had crew members that are part of the Imperial cult. But
Yeah.
this is like this is like mass level stuff. It's sort of like this is more than you're sprinkled to see water on your face because it's what you were raised to do. This is some
Yeah.
orthodoxy.
I feel like the
here.
Captain Gentleman has dabbled in cults, but it's never like it's a minor for him. If
It's
it's
a
going to
yeah,
be like an accredited university, it's not his major,
Yeah.
which is acting
Gotcha,
and
yeah.
gentlemanly
So
stuff.
you see this going on, and you see Raya, kind of very near the front of the line to speak and confess to the Water Seer. Weave the tale. Only dabbled in cult. I think we've all only dabbled in cult. Yes. How true. How true. That being said, I'll be right back. I have a costume change. I'm just kidding. For those of you that
Rubber
watch my other
duckies?
show, that is always a good thing to hear. So,
Adam's
you,
changing costumes.
Raya.
Take a shot.
Exactly.
I'd be for it.
We don't want to have that drinking game. That gets dangerous. Raya, you are next in line to see the Water Seer.
Mm-hmm.
And hold on here. I've got it. What are you doing in anything in preparation to seeing the Water Seer?
I have been observing everyone else. So kind of it's the few people that have gone in front of me, because I feel like I've kind of put my way forward. I'm gonna kind of copy a little bit, but say my own words. And my whip is well tucked in underneath my shirt, so I got a really nice belt going on.
Nice.
And
Here, hold on here.
trying to going through like everything that I can think of, just like Unfortunately, I haven't been here for 30 minutes, so I can't use my detailed.
Gotcha. So, oh wait, you know what? We might flex the rules on that. Let's check your detailed insight. Detailed insight: spending at least 30 minutes examining the area or an object to discover more. You know, that can apply to the camp itself, but not necessarily this religious service that you're going through. Because I feel like because you're trying to get out quickly, you force yourself in front of the line, so you don't have time. But the camp itself, yeah, I'll let that apply. So there before you is the Water Seer. Welcome, my child. He looks you over. A child of Sea.
Would I have any idea what that meant?
Yes. Oh no, you did really good. So yeah, that's right. You did good on the check. So, it's more of it's all about the stars. So where there's the Moran old gods. Once the Imperial cult took over, we put this aside, and everything is kind of done by the constellations. There's an entire group that reads fate and portents. So they're specifically referring to if you're a child of winter, this person thinks it's like you're, are you an Aries? Are you a Taurus? Kind of thing.
Okay.
So child of winter is one of the constellations that would be visible in the sky. So, yeah, like, it's up to you if you want to answer that, and I will I will let you determine of whether or not the Water Seer is right. So,
I am going to say that the Water Seer is right, and actually have like a look of shock on my face.
all right, that's cool.
A little
I
bit,
like
trying to control it. Just
Oh, that's good.
it's like, no, this is not as much mumbo jumbo as I thought it was. Fuck.
Tell me of your sins, my child, so that they may be washed away by the light and the wisdom of the God Queen.
I have gotten angry at some of my fellow. I have not been humble and accepted their criticism to help me be better, and I have partaken of drunkenness.
Simple sins, my child. Simple sins. You strike me as someone who the stars and the God Queen much in store for. And if
You're too kind.
let the faith take hold in you, the God Queen will forgive you. For as you know, there is the sea, physical form, and then we'll gesture to the sky, the sea of the spirit. And it is only those who follow the light of the God Queen will be able to traverse those waves and meet her again. He will kind of, it's like a very, I don't want to say it's a chalice because it's too Catholic like. I'm going to say it's more of it's a bowl. We're going to say it's a wood.
A giant
Wood.
seashell.
Ooh, you know what? I love it when you make better stuff than I do. Seashell. Yes. Very fancy seashell.
Giant one.
Been engraved, all sorts of stuff, of course, because, and tiny flux crystals, nothing that's going to be of any value to anyone more ornate, will scoop up the water. Kneel, my child.
Kneel.
Yeah.
Bow my
And
head.
we'll pours the water on you. Go, child, and do what you come to do. With that, Rhea, I need you to make a perception check.
Oh god. That's not my favorite.
That's all right. Yeah, exactly. Here.
Okay, I succeed by 1. So is that 30? I had
All right.
58. I had 3. So that's 1. Succeed by 1.
Gotcha. In a frightening manner, you were unnerved by what the Water Seer just said to you.
Cool.
Cool.
Oh, fuck off.
All right, all right. So you are on your way there, and as you're walking back, Rokar, you will see Rhea leaving the line. What do you want to do? Rokar?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, he's pretty excited because he's like, I know her. And this is cool. But he's just gonna like start moving closer to try to get eye contact with Rhea, like slowly shifting around, just to let her know that he's nearby.
Gotcha. So,
Do I have to do
Rhea,
another
you will
perception
see
check?
Nah, it's fine. You see Inquisitor Rokar walking close to you.
Inquisitor, Warden, Captain, Gentleman, or Gentleman Captain.
So, what are the two of you doing?
Just gonna just grab him and, just very carefully. We're going into the structure. Pretend you've been baptized. Don't look behind you. Keep going. Keep going. We might die. We might be dead already.
Structure for right now is relatively unguarded. You guys have to do a few, duck behind cover, but not. I don't want to say a cakewalk, but you didn't have to be trained in this part. So, we will say you guys. I'm gonna give you guys. You guys are at this structure ahead of time. What it appears to be is was probably once highly reflective, but now it is no longer that. It's essentially a flat, it's like it's a square really, but around it there are probably about 3 feet tall borders to it. So you could walk in front for a door, but it's only a 3-foot rise, so it's easy just to hop over. And in the back corner, which doesn't matter, there is a raised dais that still glimmers in the light. So where the rest of it looks like it's been stained and aged with time. The particular flat part of the dais is not. So
All right.
I'm going to take a look at your sheets to see if you guys have, quote unquote, any technical idea of what you're looking at. I don't think you guys, that's your wheelhouse, but I'm taking a look. No, this is not your wheelhouse.
It's not our wheelhouse, but I'm happy to roll for a lucky guess.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. So my question is, what does your lucky what is your lucky guess roll? I mean, what do you do? Do you just go in there and just start like stomping on it? Do you start playing with the dais? Do you do black? What do you do? Like, what's your attempt at lucky guess?
Let's just throw some flux crystal and see what happens.
Yeah,
Pocket sand.
Pocket.
Pocket sand.
I'm happy to let Z pocket sand some imbued crystal shit at it, but I'm probably going to be looking around it for any depressions, symbols, anything that looks like it's been like used or touched. You know,
All right,
I'm trying to be the investigating warrior.
There are two kinds of people.
Yeah.
They're the people that investigate, the people that throw magic at it. Gotcha. So I just wanted to, of course, I'll give you guys a nice little fun bullshit roll. But my question is, when bullshit happens, I needed to know where you were.
I think we're doing whatever we can to not have to be close to each other, more importantly than actually succeeding.
Yeah, so
Gotcha.
she's only at range, and unfortunately I'm the idiot motherfucker that's right up there next to it.
Gotcha. All right. Is that the plan?
I guess so. What a terrible plan.
All right. I love it. So here's what
Buddy.
I'm gonna say. Here's what I'm gonna say. There is a 25% chance you're gonna get lucky, and we're gonna start with 2 degrees of success. So who wants to roll the "Do you feel lucky" check?
I feel lucky.
I think. Oh, you feel lucky, Ziafanya? All right, let's do it.
Alright. So what am I trying to roll under something or just a D10 or what am I rolling?
So you're trying to roll below 25. Really, you want it because I gave you 2 degrees of success. You want minimum below 45, but everything below 25 is better.
How about a 22?
All right, that is enough to get somewhat lucky. So what's going to happen here is, so Ziathanya, as we've established, you're at a distance. You're not too far away, but you have not stepped onto the structure yet. You're kind of looking at it, and you're starting to... You're doing your best to sense the magic. Though magic is really more... It is brought manifest by magical words. You can still occasionally feel it. You get a tingle whenever you walk by an imbued flux crystal. You're like, all right, what am I feeling here? That's kind of... So you're kind of... The way I see you, you're on the border. All right, so there's like the 3-foot borders. You're walking around just kind of, not quite touching it, but just kind of, sliding your hand over it. Where Einar, very more in the... while Einar is a caster, Einar is a caster as in what hurts people more. You walk up on it, and you kind of look around, but the thing that's going to catch your eye, because it still glistens in the light, is the flat part of the dais. And you're looking at it, you're like, when you see it, it has on it, so to have the best description of it, imagine glass. Things have been engraved in the glass, and it still has a great deal of precision to it, even though how old is this thing? You don't remember that part of class, but it's a long time ago. So that is very faint to you. We're going to say the one thing that you've noticed too, I'm just adding this detail because I feel like it makes more sense. As you approach this, there was once overgrowth of this. There was like plants and roots, but it seems like the Marathi have been here long enough to clear that out. So it's not literally just been this perfect, preserved thing right here. So after all that's been cut away, this is what you see. And, you know, like the intelligent investigator you are, you decide to start pushing things. You're like, oh, what happens?
Yep.
So you touch
Why
one of
not?
the things, and it will let out a very soft, like, almost like a flute sound, like, ooh, as you touch it, and that will, you're like, okay, all right, I'm not sure if I should touch it, unless you want to keep touching it.
Nope.
Touch it. Touch it.
I
All right.
ideas.
So at that point in time, oh, go ahead, Zeothania. Let me know what Zeothania does, since you have asked Zeothania to touch it.
No, ideas.
My idea is for you to step back away from the whistling thing. Yes.
Fine.
Does
Mr.
it keep
Cultist
whistling when
recommends
he's no
licking
longer
it.
poking it?
It does
I'm
not
not taking
whistle when
that
he's not
advice.
poking it. You're not take what? This is a first. This is a first. No. It's not a demon. Not a
Didn't
demon.
break it.
Gotcha.
I didn't break it.
Does the magic feel like it goes up when he's fucking with it? Get your mind out of the
No.
magic gutter.
It wasn't.
It's all that cult talk earlier. All right, but as that's happening, so no, you don't. The most you're getting out of this thing is it's the slightest tingle, and even when he starts benoodling with it, not much changes. But at that point in time, Inquisitor Rokar and Rhea will approach. They're going to kind of, the way I see it, it's kind of raised up a little bit, and they kind of will start to appear over the very brief horizon, not really the horizon. They come into view.
Can I put in some of my Flux? We have
Can you put
the
in some of
heads up flavor text.
Oh yeah, please do. Of course, love it.
Yeah. Like we're coming up with the hoods, and I feel like Zastanya and Anar would basically be like, "Who's there?" Guns ablazing, and we're like, "No!"
Yes,
Sound fair?
absolutely.
Everybody agree? All right, so
Yeah,
It's
just
us, it's us.
I'm coming. You take one side of the door, I take the other.
Got it.
all right, so you guys jump out to threaten these two, and they're like, oh.
Absolutely.
Go ahead, do that roll back.
So in 3, 2, 1, both of us.
Gotcha. I hope
Yes, it's us.
someone has been making gifts, and I hope whoever makes gifts, I want a gif of John pulling that gun out. Whoever is in charge of
Right.
gifts, do it. That is the new one.
Excellent.
There you go. I love it.
Oh, good. You're both still alive. That's the outcome we were hoping for.
Completely not
Yeah,
what we
right. It
expected,
was
but I'll take
little.
it.
It was touch and go there for a little bit. But hey, good times.
You're naked.
Yeah.
See you both.
What? I'm not naked. I'm naked underneath the
So-
robes, but
So, Rhea, there is a Thesharid arc thing in front of you. So, since you're wanting to deal with this, why don't you make a not? I'm on the wrong person. That is totally
That an
Alex.
operate skill.
First thing you're going to do is acknowledge the lost stage.
Okay. Oh shit! Nice. Okay. So that's a 2. My intelligence is 40. So 3. So 9.
You get a 2? 9?
I got a 2.
Okay, so 2.
I know
But-
exactly
yeah,
what
2.
I'm looking at.
Yeah, I gotcha. So what I like, so
the roll
to
was
continue more
2.
flavor text. So continue my flavor text. So after Anar calms down to you, he's like, I don't know what to make of this thing, and he starts to touch the thing again. You're like, oh god, like, do not touch that. You know. So
You're like,
I
this is
told
how
you
we
to stop
die.
touching it.
this is how we die.
This is how we die.
Mhm.
Right, I was just trying to show her.
You're
So,
lucky you still
See,
have
you
legs.
shouldn't
Web
touch random
itself-
things.
This is essentially an elevator, and it still seems to have a little bit of power to it. So that being said, I do like the operate check. Give me an operate check to try to use this device.
Okay.
I love it. I love that face there.
Succeed by I have 1 success rate. So
That's
low enough.
enough. That's enough. So you are able to touch it, and it lets kind of out this slightly melodic tone as you're pressing it, and you are able to, with almost no sound, it hovers for a second, and then will essentially it waits for you to press a button to go down.
All aboard.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's do this.
I suppose.
What are you going to
All
do?
right, you guys will. And with this, like I said, it's not completely silent, but to give us a modern example, it's like the difference between like you having a hybrid car, you know how they like they have installed things to make them make noise so people don't get hit by them. That's how it makes noise, but it's so quiet, just sliding down. And I think that's a good time to take a break, as we now are entering the Tomb of the Watcher, as you guys have left the Imperial cult and the no one expects the Marathi Inquisition up on the beach, finish their religious rites, which will take some time, but not all night. So you guys are a little bit ahead of them, but eventually they may realize something's up or come down to join you. That being said, I hope everyone's having a good time. We're going to take about a 10-minute break, and we will be back. So we'll see you then. And welcome back. Thanks for sticking through the break. I'm excited to say I'm going to quickly look at the chat, see if anyone said anything that I would like to address. I think everyone's having a great time. If the gifts are happening, I've seen Einar's forehead and hand heavy sigh. Yeah. I want to compilation of all the sexy, funny things said during the campaign. I don't handle that stuff, so there you go. Okay, so yeah, well, welcome back. I like what we're doing so much about Twitch is interacting with other people during essentially what is a fancy version of what I would normally run on a Tuesday night tabletop. So, except we're not always this extra. We're this extra for you. I should say that the rest of us are. I don't know about Alex. So no, and John.
Yeah,
too,
I was
right.
gonna say, speak for yourself.
I was gonna say, John has shown up for my games, and it's just been.
Yeah, so I guess.
I guess at one point I was invited to do a one-shot NPC role for Adam, and I came in full costume with contacts and a backdrop and a wig.
Yeah, it was.
I sprinted upstairs to grab a leather jacket and some fangs.
Yeah, so anyway, that was the beginning of us being extra, and then Mitch gave me an idea to do this, and now we're extra for all of you. But point of that original story was I like interacting with you guys, so go ahead, get chatty. That's half the fun of Twitch, I think. If not, we just put this on YouTube and you would see it later. So, all right, let's get to it, shall we? You guys are riding the silent elevator down to the Tomb of the Watcher, or so as the Marathi Inquisition calls it. To Raya, it is just simply another artifact. It's not really a dig, because now you haven't had to dig, but of the Thashard Empire to see their wonders. It doesn't take long to ascend, but I think we've all had that feeling when we've been on an elevator and it suddenly starts to move very quickly, and you feel that, you know, your body's not keeping up with terminal velocity for a hot second. You have that feeling kind of the whole time. Like, it's never quite scary, but you're like, ooh, you would almost like, if I jumped really hard, I wonder if I would stay 6 inches off the ground the whole time. But I'm not sure if anyone's ballsy enough to try that. But by the time you would consider, it starts slowing down. And you guys are in. And for you, Rhea, this is a remarkably well-preserved site. So the hallway in and of itself seems to be made of a similar material of the floor, but it is more polished. It catches the light in very peculiar ways. And the lighting itself, once you guys come to a stop, the light will click on, but it's not particularly bright, giving a more of a haunting appearance. And I do not know the primary color of the Thashard Empire, but for right now, it is green. So there are green lights that kind of, ooh, you know what? And I kind of like the idea of the hallway itself is not just, it's not a box. It kind of will have like an hourglass shape where like the top part goes up and it'll come in a little bit and then go back out and then to the floor. And the lights are in 4 places: the floor, the bottom part of the curve, top part of that curve, and on the ceiling. Just catches the light. And, yeah, a little just not particularly. I would say it's not uncomfortable, but it's not normal to you. It's not normal architecture, but it's not. You don't feel like, particularly alien about it. Pope World Builder, thank you for subscribing for 19 months. So there you go. Thank you for continuing. There you go. So yeah, there you guys are. The hallway continues down for a little bit. I'm not going to have a perception check, but you guys can hear subtle sounds of dripping. And it doesn't take... Oh, there we go. Well, thank you, we got gifts raining in the chat. Thank you. Woo! There we go. Awesome. Yay! There we go. There we go. Send thanks. All right, good, everybody. Thank you, John. And the generosity rain from the sky, hoping to buy off the GM, and that this green light doesn't indicate anything abhorrent.
Damn it,
can
you're
hear the
on
subtle
to me.
dripping. The dripping indicates to you that you are in fact underwater, and that makes sense kind of with just the geography of where you approached. So it's not particularly loud and not enough so you guys are like, oh, this place is going to be full of water. It's more on the outside than anything else. The hallway goes on for several meters, but it's really hard to see too far. What do you do?
Raina, this is your
You're muted.
your show.
Yeah, should I take
Of course
point
I
or
am.
something? Is there a torch?
I
So
think that
you
Raina's
guys,
the one that
you
needs
guys
to
don't
take the
need
lead.
torches. You guys have lights. You guys have flashlights and things like that. They're particularly a little bit more bulky than what we expect. Like I said, very steampunkish. You know.
You know what
The
I'm gonna
gentleman
do
is
first?
disappointed.
I am
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna roll for dungeoneering.
Yeah. There you go. Sounds like
Yeah.
Sounds like it. Dungeoneering may roll against Wisdom Survival. The difficulty rating of 4 to identify potential dangers in a subterranean environment. If successful, the character and their allies get +2 success rating on any task to avoid hazards or pitfalls for the next hour. I don't know about you, but that sounds like there you go. Go, Indiana Jones.
Yes.
All right, wisdom survival check. So your wisdom is at 36. You have 3 degrees of success. It's against 4, so you need to succeed. Yeah, you need to succeed by a certain amount here. If you fail,
I
it's
do.
not the end of the world. They just don't get the bonus. Yeah, they just don't get the bonus.
No, I do. It's
Mhm.
it's our favorite number. It's lucky number 5.
Oh, you succeed. Gotcha. Or you
So,
failed
let's
by
see,
5.
No. Like I rolled a 5.
Oh, thank
So I'm trying
goodness.
to do
This is good. Yeah, this is good.
That's why I said
We
our
want
favorite
this
number.
episode to be brought to you by- Yeah.
I
So
said
that will do.
favorite number.
All right, so that will do 20. So 2 degrees success puts you at 5, which is above the difficulty rating, which means the character and allies gain +2 success rating on any task to avoid hazards or pitfalls for the next hour. So good. So Raya will be able to look. Now this is probably one of the most preserved sites you've ever been in. You've been here. You know this. So you're going to tell everyone, careful what you touch, especially if it starts making a fluting noise. You do expect to encounter, here's the things you can expect to encounter. You can expect to encounter some sort of a containment energy shield, if that's still fun to like hold intruders in place. There's probably essentially riddles to gain access to certain areas.
Okay.
So,
Then I'm going to tell them that, and I don't know. Would the riddles look like a little different from the other like scribes? Like, would it be like, I don't know, like etched in silver or etched in gold?
So, no, you'll be able to see, it depends on how intact the site is. This one's pretty intact. Sometimes the voice of the Thrashard will speak to you and tell you the riddle. Like, there's, you can speak to it. Now, while you know that the Thrashard language, some of the context has been lost, and you don't, when it speaks of the spirits, do they really believe in spirits? Or is that word simply become to mean something else now? So it's
Cool.
one of those things about languages, you know.
So it's
Kinda how
hard
Latin
mode.
doesn't have words for water.
Hard mode.
Yeah, there you go. So Other than that, those are the only things I can think of. Occasionally, if you other dangers outside of, there's two other dangers you would worry about. One is a little less than the other. Everything here is slightly bigger, which is potentially believe that the Tharans were maybe taller than the average humanoid, but not abhorrently so. So there are sometimes that step is a few inches deeper than you thought it would be, and it tends to ankles. The other one is if things go terribly wrong, sometimes the guardians will be activated, and those can be dangerous automatons.
So I'm gonna very casually go through. I'm gonna very casually go through all of this. You know, you guys just don't touch anything. Don't move too quickly. Be careful not to trip. And hopefully we won't see any guardians, and they won't kill us all. So it's not a problem. It's fine.
Would you prefer to take point then, and the rest of us take directive from you?
Yeah, probably.
Right.
And that would also make sense why everyone gets the +2 success rate.
Yep. Anar, I need you to link me back in case I start falling. Since you're apparently good at yoink.
I'm gonna walk behind Rokar to keep an eye out for him touching stuff, inevitably.
Gotcha. Sounds good. I want to point out to the audience, we are one subscription away from a nice little bonus until I unlock a story element or help for all, which might become useful in case they trip anything and not literally sprain their ankle. So if you've been thinking about subscribing and want to see some fun, let's go ahead and do that. But
remember, you can use your Amazon Prime subscription to subscribe for free.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. So there we go. You guys move down the hallway. The hallway's not as long as you kind of thought it was. You come to a sealed door, but as you approach, the door itself will light up and illuminate the entire room in this green light. You'll feel Zeothania. Remember that tingle I was talking about earlier? This is it's just 1 degree higher, nothing particularly fancy. But it is, when that comes on, you're like, oh, okay, all right. It then will let out a noise that sounds similar to a flute, and the door will open, leading you to a large center chamber. However, where before you did not see much signs of activity, here you do. There is fresh stains of blood on the floor.
Okay.
That doesn't usually lead to anything good.
No, it doesn't.
So, everyone remain calm. The guardians may have been activated.
Advice on if they
I'm
were.
gonna-
Are for this course.
If we see
I'm
them,
gonna bend
run.
down and put my finger in the blood and just go.
Don't do that.
Does it taste like human blood?
It does. It is dried a little bit, but it does have a metallic taste of human blood.
Yes, definitely human. Might have had a bit of a French toast earlier. I would say no more than a couple hours. Definitely had an accent. All right, Rhea, I'm on your 6.
Oh my
I like that
god.
your sniper rifle is now a shotgun.
It just has a pump on it for some reason. No, it doesn't need a pump. That's one.
It's just to make the noise.
Yeah, just to make the.
Just a useless pump. Oh my god.
guys move. The next question, I guess, really is: do you go into the room that has now this blood? And it's because I consider this.
What are the blood
the
patterns?
That.
You know what? Let me take a look here because
Like, is it going side to side? Is it going like straight in front of us? Is there some diagonal shit? Are there arrows anywhere?
hold on here, I'm checking here. I feel like
Or other signs of nearby murder.
Is there any like crazy symbol pattern on the floor so that we gotta figure out a goddamn puzzle?
not yet.
Well, the puzzle wasn't licking it.
Oh, no.
No, it
The
wasn't.
floor lights up. The floor lights up per panel.
Wait, it's DDR, you guys. I got this.
Wait, do you have this or does
Einar,
Einar
I
have
need
this?
you-
'Cause that's really funny in the second option.
Yes? Question
So
mark?
Einar, give me a survival check. Survival
What?
check, Einar. It's a survival check. So hold on. Let me back up, everybody. Let's get away from DDR. We're back to the blood pattern. And I figured the person who's investigated, bloody patterns on the ground is you. Survival check.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what we're at.
Absolutely. It was just wonderful timing, Adam. That's all.
Okay, yeah. Alright, so that's a wisdom check for you. Checking
So
other
for
stuff
me-
here.
Same. Okay.
There we go. It itches, and I'm never quite sure where my makeup is, so I just have to look at myself in the camera and be like, okay.
I empathize.
Thank you
It looks
guys.
like my
I
stat
totally
is
discovered that
35. Looks like my stat for that is 35, so I should roll below that. Am I correct, Adam?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
You're starting with
excellent.
five success rating.
Okay.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna take away 2, just because you're investigating
fair.
blood splatters in a strange environment.
That's completely fair.
So it still leaves you at the starting 3.
I rolled 17.
17. That'll be 27. So that's 1 extra degree of success. That'll put you at 4. Plenty enough. Okay, so the blood spatter, the blood spatter. There was probably some sort of fight here. There's probably at least, for you to get this detail, by the way, you have to enter the room. And I figured since your options are back out
I'll do it.
or enter the room, yeah, you go in. There was probably some sort of fight here. This blood particularly is dried up, so it would lead you to believe that it was a slashing weapon, but you find blood caked up against a wall, and these walls slant. I want you guys to kind of think of, so like the circular room, the walls are going to go up, then up like this, and then there's another circle, and there's like a dais in the center, and then there's a dais along with another like orb at the top in the center. So on one of these slanted walls, right here, there is caked like burnt blood, which tells to you that it's probably some sort of high energy, potentially something caused by a spell. You've heard rumors of, there's not particularly, essentially energy cannons, but right now it's pretty common, just steam.
Mm-hmm.
So, other than that, there was probably a fight with about maybe half a dozen individuals.
Half a dozen individuals being the ones that were gizooed, or
Yeah, there's blood spatter that would probably make you think there's about half dozen people that were totally severely injured or murdered in this room.
6 potential casualties against something high-powered, high energy. And Adam, do I have any way of knowing if that was from something in the room or from something that came from multiple angles, i.e., like the Guardians?
It's probably, so if you had to take a guess, it's probably some sort of probably Guardians. Like, that being said, as you look along the walls, there's intricate designs on the walls that you don't really make much sense of that could be hiding seals. Like, that could be a door over there. Is that a door or is that a fancy pattern? You don't know. Like, this is probably your first time in a Threshold structure, so yeah.
I don't know it's likely from subjects like your Guardians that you keep referring to, but I don't know where they came from. I can't tell.
Looking at the trajectory of the blood splatters and trying to find the origin point of where the laser could have came from, I'd like to pull out a muffin from my backpack and toss it in the general direction to see if there's movement. Yeah.
So if you toss it in that general direction, we're going to say that direction is towards the dais. The orb will light up. But it doesn't seem to... it's more of like... Yeah, so it will light up, the muffin... And then the orb will return to its neutral color.
Interesting.
Do you have any more?
What about something heavier? Something
I'll
heavier.
pull out.
No. If you have more, throw one onto another tile, and let's see what color that turns.
Alright, he'll get a slightly heavier muffin.
All right. So
Can't believe I'm doing this.
This is our crack team of investigators here.
I'm throwing muffins.
So you throw it.
Gotta be careful.
It will land on the dais. As it gets closer, as it lands on the dais, that blue orb that sits above it lights up brighter, and then dissipates back to nothing.
Getting one more muffin, because I'm curious about this now. In
The
getting some
last
blood.
muffin?
Yes, it's the last muffin. This one's blueberry. He'll dip it in the blood, and then toss it right at the blue orb thing.
All right, so the before the muffin strikes the blue orb, it will come to life, and the essential room will fill with this voice and this language that is it's this booming language that all of you like. Oh, that sounds really creepy, but Rhea, it's a good thing you took that, or it was given to you by the writers. It will speak and say, "Thou is unknown to us. Saith the word of passing."
Oh shit, there's a password.
But why did
That's
the
your cue.
I know.
I'm gonna clamp my hand over Rokar's mouth as fast as I can.
What, I'm trying to think what I would know. That might be the password. Because I don't know.
All right. So what are you
Anar
gonna say?
The
point at the
password
symbol and
password?
shit.
Is the password
Anar will
password?
point. Anar will point at the symbol since it's all around the edges of the room for you.
I am going to name out the traditional names of the constellation symbols that are around the room that he pointed out.
Gotcha. So after that, it will say, as you say that, if a like boom, boom, boom. How would it phrase this? Or rather, how would you understand the phrase? If thou wishes to pass, solve this. What is red, yellow, blue, and green? But none can reach it, none a queen.
What is red, yellow, blue, and green? None can reach it except for a queen, like that.
Not even a queen.
Not even a queen.
I mean, the muffins.
Anybody get a riddles?
So,
where?
at least in regards to guesses, I will take the highest wisdom modifier or wisdom success rating, and I will see, which is 4. You guys have 4 guesses. You, the player, because your characters might be smarter into dealing with riddles, but your characters.
What was the riddle one more time?
What is red, yellow, blue, and green? No one can reach it, not even a queen.
The sky?
I know what it is. I don't know if my character will know what it is.
Well, that's fine. I'm not too worried about your characters, but if you feel like you know it, you get 4
I do.
guesses.
It's a rainbow.
It is, in fact, a rainbow.
Rainbow?
Exactly.
Let's see,
a rainbow.
Mr. Cultus and Teddy Bomber. There you guys go. Good job, guys.
My second guess was the
So,
muffins.
It's a rainbow.
Oh,
Alright,
I
so
know.
are you
Rip my
gonna say
hand
that,
back
Ray?
off of Rokar.
So
Ray, Einar says
Ray,
Rokar. Yeah,
Well,
I will. Einar said rainbow, so she's gonna
And
think
so
for a
did Zathana.
moment, and Zathana, she's gonna think for a moment, and then do the closest translation to rainbow that I can think of.
The pleasant sound of a flute is the best way to will be heard, and green lights will begin to just illuminate everything around you, including the dais, and very similar to the projector. Another essentially hologram will appear in the center. It'll be of the entire world of Nuadan, I guess. And it is just full of so much information, so much text that it's going to take you a second to really get your bearings. It's just this thing comes on. You're also going to hear the occasional sounds here and there of just essentially the Threshard language. And yeah, so suddenly there's
pulling
a ton
out
of
my
info.
book, trying to
Gotcha.
I am not even sure. Just pulling out the book, immediately going first, starting from our area and then expanding out.
Gotcha. So, what you guys will see. Soon after that, though, another sound will begin. Another, and the lights will slowly start to turn red.
Damn it.
And you will hear a clang behind you. And you will turn, and there is the Water Seer with a couple of Wrathi, and they have struck something on the wall.
I would love to turn and draw on them. I'm not going to fire, but just for dramatic purposes.
Well, after the Water Seer clangs the wall, essentially a glowing wall of light will separate the two of you. I knew.
That's cheating.
Raya. I knew, Raya, you had a purpose. I knew destiny would find you. So they, there's a couple of people next to you, just like they're kind of copying what they can see on the screen.
Can I turn it
It
off?
is a shame. You could try if you want.
Okay. Pausing for a second here. I'm going with like a large knowledge thing. Is it possible to pull out the disc, kind of like we were thinking about doing for the mini projector? Take the disc with us?
I would say so. The answer is yes, but for you, it becomes, where is that disc?
Oh my
Like,
god!
because
It's
the
an
way I
apple.
see it, and unfortunately, I don't have a map and actual like the dais is pretty large around. You'd be like just trying to grab what you could. Midnight TV says block it with your bodies. Unfortunately, the way I see it in my mind, which there's only so much I can describe, the projection is kind of a little bit above you guys, because I did say earlier how everything's a little bit bigger here, so you can't really block the entirety of the projection.
What if you block the source of the projection?
Like the light up top?
That is the blue light. That's possible. You're gonna have to climb up and you know do
What
some
happened to your
sort of depth.
underwear? You could have just flung it up there.
Yeah.
But you left your underwear
Ooh,
behind.
you gonna shoot it? Oh, I love
You
it.
could have thrown
love
muffins
it.
at it.
Yeah, just gonna
Do it. Right
Take it
faster.
out.
Do it.
I
Surely
like
this
it.
won't end poorly.
Oh, it. Okay. I'm not even gonna have you roll. I like it. That's good stuff. So you let off a shot from your steam rifle. It cracks. Does not destroy this blue projector, and the projector will slowly fizzle. And at that point in time, though, the will turn to a much darker tone, and you will hear essentially clicks going on behind you. And the Water Seer will then look terrified and essentially will turn to the scribes like, "Do you have it? Do you have it?" And what do you guys want to do?
I'm gonna turn around to see what we're facing.
All right. You turn around. Essentially, at one end of the door, there is essentially kind of hidden in the seals. Think of like hooks, kind of like this. They're gonna go drop down, opening as the door will pull open and reveal this essentially very lithe kind of automaton. Its feet, though, kind of curve in a blade. So I love how I use my sign language classifiers for you guys. So, like, to think its feet kind of like walk, get towards the camera like this on the blades. So, and its arms are essentially scythes, and it will just start walking out quite quickly.
Freya, anything you can think of to stop this, do it.
Would I have any previous knowledge on the other digs?
You know what?
Like, is there like a glowing flux crystal behind like a chess piece that I would know? Or
an off button.
I love this idea. I love this idea. Cool. Why don't you? Now I'm gonna make this hard. I ain't gonna be nice to you guys here.
okay, no, it's okay.
Knowledge check. I'm gonna say that's a -5 on the success rating. So it's still puts
Knowledge
you at 1.
lost aged.
Yes. But you know, you can go ahead and roll. Maybe you'll get lucky.
One die.
I think that was always a
That
given down
is-
here.
Yeah.
That's a fail by 2. So that's a fail by 1.
So, however, so you fail that, but I'm gonna give you one more roll because I noticed your background.
Wait. +2 on success rolls for any task used to avoid hazard more pitfalls for the next hour. Dungeoneering. That's a 3.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes!
There you go.
Oh,
I like it. There we go.
the
There we go,
best.
Dungeoneer. You know what?
Woo!
I like the idea. So we're gonna say in the center, there is. It's not necessarily a flux crystal, but that's the best way to describe it in the amount of time that you have. Before this thing starts getting lethal real quick, which might indicate what the blood all over the ground. So, that being said, what I will say is if you make called shots towards the chest, you'll be able to do some more damage to this thing. So,
There you go.
let's go ahead and get some combats. Everybody, get those D10s
Just
together.
wait.
This will be. Yeah, I don't want it to take really a long time, and I hope it won't kill you all. So,
Some.
I mean, hey, I to be honest, I need some of you to keep the show going. That's about it. Want to go to, a broken dice like, sorry, they're all dead. We know you wanted
Thanks,
more
Adam.
episodes, but.
I feel like Guy from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, we are at a narrative round. So in this, as I brought up before, in this combat or in this system, everyone has before hardcore combat begins. You have a round to do something. So let's start with. Actually, we'll start with you, Rokar. What do you want to do? What's during narrative
extra
round?
muffin.
Do you want to aim? Do you want to shoot at the projector some more?
So there's like a force field between us and these douchebags.
Yeah. So essentially, what happened was the Water Seer came in and seemed to strike something on the wall that was on your side, and then the field came up.
Mm-hmm.
But, nah, I'm just gonna go what usually works, in an aim sniper shot right in between the legs of this automaton. Make sure I have my piercing rounds in, so I'm just like.
All right, I like that. Okay. All right, so you're loading
Again,
up and taking
just
aim.
the noise.
Yeah.
It's an
Just the
intimidation
noise.
Got the
factor.
gentleman. Yeah, he makes all the noise.
I just
himself.
the way that I see it though, in mind's eye is
Makes
that
the noise himself.
he's got the noise thing, but he still has a silencer at the top of his
Yeah.
sniper rifle.
Oh yeah. I picture this being a
Gotta be-
ridiculous gun, so it's got like a shotgun pump and it's got the Tommy gun barrel on the bottom, but none of them
Oh,
do
yeah,
anything.
that's
They're
good.
just stitched to it.
So what I think you're going to do, Rokar, is you're going to take an action to aim, because when making a ranged attack with your weapon, take an aim action increases the damage by +1 for every 3 excess success rating. So you're gonna already have an aim good to go. So that sounds good there. We'll jump up to you, Einar. What do you want to do?
I am briefly
if you would
reading
like
one
suggestions,
thing on
like-
my sheet. I
There
would
you
love
go, that sounds
suggestions.
great. One of the things, actually, because when I did a little video for you guys that the audience didn't get to see on how to do the combat, I actually got to use your sheet, and one of the nice things you may want to do is cast on your gun, so
Yeah.
then you don't have to do that during combat. That's
I
like
was
my
actually
quick-
going to ask you if I could do that. That was one thing I was down to ask you, is if I can sacrifice that round to do my casting so that whatever I'm shooting is coming up horrifying and spell.
Gotcha. Cool. So let me check. Turn on here running. I got to open. I've been told where a few more of these combat rules are. If you've been watching, the whole thing's in separate chapters for me, so I've got to pull it up. But so you're casting. There's no roll to cast. You just simply will take the flux of casting the spell, which you had a couple of days to not cast, so your flux goes down, and you will, meditate on anything you need to do. So you're good there.
Excellent.
I'm in the wrong sheet real fast. I want to make sure something. Let's choose to There you go, flux. There it is. Okay, I knew I had it listed. there you go. So enchant, touch of wind. Gotcha. So you've got that on your only touch, and it will last for 1/3 of your will in rounds. Target item gains spell properties. Or so we're gonna round up to 2 rounds. Cool.
Okay.
So
I'd like to.
forward to the
Well,
flux
I'm gonna.
effect is triggered. Yeah.
Let's
All
see
right,
if
so
I
that's
can.
you.
Do I need to? Okay. I would like to do something that's very dumb.
Okay.
Since we are making strong narrative choices tonight, I notice that I can choose to strain, to cast, or get to the next level of intensity.
Gotcha.
I would like to do
making
so.
me look up rules. I see. Let me check and see if that's going to help you.
I
Let me pull up
am.
the magic rules real fast. While I'm checking that, Rhea, what are you gonna do?
Hi.
No, I'm whipping out my whip and apparently dropping all my dice, so hopefully I don't die. Because the dice gods are mad at me. So I'm pulling out my whip and I'm gonna aim for one of the legs. I'm gonna try and pull it out
Okay,
from
so
underneath it.
You're gonna aim, draw your weapon and aim. I
Mhm.
like that here. Magic level. Yes, I'm gonna turn the innate ability higher the stronger the spell being cast. Oh, I think that determines the damage. So the intensity here, intensity of the strength of a spell represented by the multiplier. X multiplies the effect word. So it's gonna cost more flux. So a spell with an intensity of 2 doubles its flux cost. Okay, that's what we gotta check here. I think you're gonna be fine because it's normally 6, so it's gonna double it to 12, which is gonna put you. You only have 3 more flux after that, and that's gonna be not fun. Let me check the flux here. Flux threshold. Flux threshold. How much flux you can hold with themselves and maintain the balance in their world in the natural world. So manifesting a spell exceeds their flux. You must make an immediate test to resolve the spell's effects. Okay, you can do that. It's going to increase the damage of your weapon, but it's going to double the flux that you gain. So it'll put you at 12 out of 15. But that being said, your boom boom stick's gonna go boom boom. So what do we want to do? Are we doing it?
I'm sorry, I missed some of that. That was directed at me.
Yes. So for straining your spell, you're doubling your damage. You'll get the extra damage, but you're going to double the flux cost, which means you'll be 12 out of your 15 flux threshold. Nothing bad happens now, but if you got to cast again, then we got to look up flux tests and all that other stuff. But, like I said, your gun's going to do boom. All right, there we go.
Let's quit.
So you strain, you put as much, when you say the magic words, and you put as much energy as you possibly can into that. Rhea aims, I think you said the leg. All right, Sonya, what do we want to do?
So Zythana steps right up, shoulder to shoulder with Einar. No qualms about it, and I would like to pull out my war scythe. And now, do I have the ability to make that be on fire? Was that one of the things I could do?
We looked this up. You can make, your big thing is you could just ditch the war scythe, and you will make a weapon that does the spell damage. So the spell damage is 1d. It's gonna be 1d5 fire damage and inflicts the burning condition.
All right, so yes, that is what I will do. I will activate a war scythe, but made of fire.
Gotcha. Okay, and I'm gonna check real
As
quick
one
to see
does.
if it's just
Like a Tuesday.
okay. So here I'm gonna offer another idea here, Ziathania, because damage-wise, your war scythe is better than you creating magic weapon.
Okay.
But you know what else you can do?
Okay.
You could create a magical shield between you and your opponent, or you could try to encase the opponent into some sort of wall of fire or wall of magical energy.
Oh, sure. Let's go ahead and do that.
So that
sounds fun.
I
And
feel
still
like
fire.
your fire sword is less impressive than your war scythe, but trapping the automaton made of blades or with blade feet probably a good idea. So narratively, I'm not going to let you. You don't need to make a check. You're just going to take the flux. You have a higher flux flux level than our friend Einar, so you are fine.
Mm-hmm.
This is gonna hurt no matter what. I have accepted this.
Yeah.
Gotcha. You're gonna make a shape of fire. Yeah. And it's gonna last for your willpower bonus in rounds, or willpower success rating in round here. What is it with Adam and razor blades? I don't know. Just turn it into a thing. You know, I got a thing. It works. Yeah, exactly. Watching me here. All right. Okay. So that being said, additional things. Sorry to everyone. Just kind of go through the rules, but I'm hoping you're learning a little. So it turns out, Ithania, you're even cooler. You can create 2 items within a single shape spell. So I didn't know if you wanted to if there's anything else you wanted to do. So you could create like a cage or some sort of barrier. Is there another item you wanted to make?
Is my magic blocked by this pretty little shield they've popped up, or can I magic on the other side of that? Because I'd love to set them on fire from the ground up too. Just like one side, one the other.
Just reading this here, it
Bitches.
says you can create 2 items within a single shape spell. I'm gonna say no, because I feel like you're gonna have to pick target.
Boo.
Like you could do 2 items,
Boo.
2 things on those blades.
So,
Do 2 things on the water priest. Just like, if we're going down, you're going down with us.
I was kind of
could
thinking
do
the
that.
same thing. So instead of going shoulder to shoulder with Einar, I'm gonna go back to back with him.
Mm-hmm. And
But
you're
he's
gonna-
facing
you're
the.
gonna
I'm gonna try to aflame all of these motherfuckers.
all right then.
All right. So what are you making? Are you making like a circle? Like what is the shape? I love it.
Yeah, like a magical circle of flame around at least main guy, and I guess at least one of the other 2. Both of them, if they're close enough together.
Yeah. So he's
One
the Water Seer's
scribe,
got,
like
like
one
a small
scribe
little
and
team. Yeah. There's
Sorry?
a small little team there, but so
He's my main focus.
the Water Seer's there.
This asshole.
Yeah, and he's got a couple of guys with him, but they're extras. You know, they're totally doomed. So that's fine. I like that. All right, so cool. All right, there you go.
Right.
Yeah, love it. So there you go. You take everyone's. All right, but the only person who really. So we've got the. I am going to move. I'm going to move towards Rokar, automaton, because Rokar was the one that triggered the alarm. So I will take the movement towards you. The Water Seer, now that I see I'm being casted, I am going to try to quickly dodge the fire that's going to probably immolate all of my allies, but heck with them. So, I'll just go ahead and roll for him to see if he resolves that real quick, just because there you go. Whoa. Yes. So as you cast that spell, Ziathanya, in your narrative rounds, once just before it completely like surrounds him, the Water Seer ducks like a fucking ninja, because I rolled a 1 to get out of there. But everybody else is trapped, most of them. And
Good.
the Water Seer looks
Good.
quite.
Get all those scribes.
You know.
Yeah.
You know what? You know.
Get all the scribes.
And everything they wrote down.
Yeah.
We're gonna say there's a little bit of burn on the Water Seer, and maybe next time you see the villain, maybe I'll make it up. It's fine. There we go. So yeah, let's go. Who wants to go first? I will let one hero go first before the very, very fast automaton attacks. So which hero wants to go first?
Yeah.
Oop, I see two between Anar and Rhea. Let's look. We'll look at agility. See who goes quicker.
Probably.
I'm happy to sacrifice the round to Rhea if Rhea can figure out a way for us to more effectively affect them.
I am trying to
Yeah,
scoop one of the legs. So that is my
Oh, okay. You're trying to.
my idea. Trying to trip them. Trying to hit specifically one of the legs.
Let's see here. Having ambushes, conditions, and damage consequences. I think those are in. It's not there. It's in here. Maybe. At least I think so. Well, the other day I was looking for something in the wrong chapter. Broken Dice was telling me, "Our bad, you were in the wrong chapter," and that's why I couldn't find it. So, feign, grapple, disarm, takedown. In order to perform a takedown action, the character must pass the takedown task using versus the target strength rating. The character wins. Okay, so here's what's going to happen. Catherine, you're going to put your metallic whip with storm module. You get a bonus to disarm stunts. I'm going to count it to takedown. That sounds cool.
Okay.
It also shocks. It's also shocking.
Yep.
So what first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to make a melee combat check. And this creature is going to attempt to dodge you because it does have a reaction. So
Let's see. That's over by 1. So
that'll give you
that
1 degree of
is
success.
1 success.
But
With
you
the
have
other 2.
plus, so it puts you at 3. So he has 3. So what I'm gonna say is, I'm gonna say you aren't able to trip, but I'll let you do a little bit of shock damage
Okay.
because it doesn't
Fair.
quite get around him too much. But okay. So the target's gonna suffer 1d5 true stamina damage on a hit.
Okay. Let's see.
So
what I
roll
got.
e5.
Ooh, nice. 12.
12.
12 total.
You roll
1d5 plus. Sorry, 1d10 plus 5.
No, you're just rolling a d5 because you don't actually hit him with the whip. The shock hits him. You're just rolling a d5 because it's true stamina damage, which is a different thing.
5.
5. There you go. All right. All right. So then we will go. So the thing takes the shock in and of itself. You'll see the electricity arc up its metallic body, and it seems to affect it a little bit, but not a lot. Like at the end of the day, that wasn't a lot of damage. It was still really didn't like that. And I just gotta check. There we go. Nice. All right, cool. Now I'm going to try to stabbity stab Rokar.
Good plan.
That
I like
being
this plan.
said,
Don't do
we're
it, bro.
gonna say- So I start with 4 degrees of success, but I fail by 3, so I only have 1 degree of success. So Rokar, you can use one of your reactions to dodge by making a agility check. And you are also, good sir, you are a swashbuckler, and you can use that to get a +2 on your success ratings if you don't want to get stabbed by these classic creature. All right.
Yeah, I kind
So
of
you wanna
don't.
roll
So
Yeah,
Definitely
acrobatics.
try
Roll
that.
acrobatics. Roll acrobatics. I'll let you do that. Yeah.
oh heck yeah! So I got a 17.
More than enough to dodge because you start with 5, and I only have 1 degree of success.
Yeah.
So, it will slash forward with its like hooked metallic arms almost like a scythe, and you will kind of what I think is only so funny is it cuts through your Inquisitor robes, but you still have you have the Captain Kirk ripped shirts. Hopefully now you are impervious to damage.
Yeah,
we'll
that's
see.
what that
100%.
means.
Now,
Of course he
Now you have to
does.
do
it's time to go with the
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Just-
Take him out.
You turn your gun upside down and you just
Yes.
swing it like a warhammer.
You have to use it as a bludgeon.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Well, with all that extra
Gotcha,
shit on it,
alright.
it'll be really heavy.
That is
Yep.
true. You just beat him. All right, so now we go Anar, Ziathanya. Who wants to go next?
Anar. Sounds good.
I'll go.
You're the one who
Because-
you did strain for the big for the BFG this round.
Yeah.
So I say yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Just in case it wasn't established.
Yeah, you did.
Reaction. Hit next.
Yep, I'm gonna try
Boom.
to I'm gonna
Get
try
that
to
critical
big
hit.
boom. Yes, exactly. Is precisely what I'm firing at.
This is a heavy weapon. It'll cost 7 AP. How many AP do you have? Let me check something here.
Okay.
Because you, I believe, are aiming, and I just literally went past the aim section chart here. So I was like, oh wait, we can look this up. Please, I hope. For 2 AP, you can choose a hit location on your next ranged attack. If the character
Absolutely.
moves before reaction at the target, that's okay. So 7 to shoot, 2 to aim, so it puts you at 9 out of your 12 action points. So
Oh boy.
boomity boom. Hold on here. Ooh,
If I'm gonna
hold on
use
here. What's
boomity
this here?
boom, let's do it.
A ranged attack action against a target moving within 1/2 the optimal range of this weapon until the start of the next character turn. The attack suffers a minus. Okay, wait. See inventory notes. Okay, there we go. Okay, this.
Dear publishers, help.
Yeah, it's a name here, but it says a ranged action target against a target moving within half the optimal range of their weapon. So that attack suffers a penalty to hit. It can only be maybe it gives them a penalty to dodge. That's what I'm like, because it's a talent for you. I don't know why it would hurt you. Unless it gives you bonus damage. So we're just gonna roll. Worry about that in a hot second. Let's just see what you get.
Works for me.
So you're gonna make a ranged attack. And for you, you're rolling at 40. And let's see what you get. This is gonna hurt. Yeah, hurt. I'm gonna try to dodge it.
12.
Yeah.
Well, all right. So I give you 2, put you at 6. I did not roll very well, but I'm very quick. I gotta do my math here. All right. So it gives you you have a total of. Why I suck at math? All right. 6. Doing the sign language 6. It has a 1 to dodge, so it gives you 5 success. I'm not even gonna worry about that. Boom, boom. The target can.
I may give a-
Gotcha.
If I may give you a brief narrative. Anar will just
Please
whisper,
do,
"Oh,
please
don't
do.
fail me now. Alright, my lady, don't fail me now. And then he'll fire.
Boom, boom. All right. So first things first, we're gonna have to do this damage in phases here because I gotta look up your weapon damage. So first things first, 2d5 plus 5 penetrating. However, you can. So here's what you're gonna do. You're gonna roll 3d5. You're gonna take the highest 2 because you have a with penetrating. You get the pick. You roll an additional and take the higher.
One moment.
No problem.
So I'm rolling 3d5, you said, yes?
3d5, but you're taking the 2 highest ones. Making sense?
1 second. Yes. I may or may not be about to use a online roller for this, so.
That's okay. How do we get it done? While you're doing that, I can look up the. Oh, excuse me, everyone. The BS magic.
And you said I'm taking the. You said I'm taking the highest roll. Out of the 3.
You're taking the highest 2 rolls. Highest 2 rolls. That's 2 out of 3.
5 and a 2.
5 and a 2.
Yes,
Okay,
sir.
so that will be 7 plus 5 does 12. You're aiming it at its chest, so I'm going to say specifically at its point. So I'm going to reduce its armor value there. I know I should add it all together. So we're at 12. Hold on here. So we're at 12. Now we got to do some other BS. Because you shooting the big wind here. So now you're going to roll another 2d5. You're going to choose whether it's piercing or impact. Or slashing. Piercing is the one that allows you to do to roll 3 and take the highest 2 if you want to do that.
Okay. What is the other one?
We will look it up. It is in the. This is plainly. All right, here we are. Just gonna make sure I'm in the right spot. So I'm
Absolutely.
not.
Sorry, I'm making you work really hard on this, but.
No, it's okay. We're learning. We are learning, and this is part of what these people are doing here, is trying to figure out, if you're watching us for the story, but also learn about Nuadan Chronicles. Yes. I know what damage types are, but what does it do? Damage. Oh, okay. Hold on here. I'm making sure here. It seems to be. Alright, gotcha. I'm going to do one more check here. I think I may have found how this matters. Because they have essentially a death chart or critical chart. And it depends on what kind you feel. We're just making sure that I am... Okay, so it seems to... Okay. All right, so just a quick explanation for everybody. Actually, if the rules hold true when you're watching this. So a lot of things, the damage is important for the critical hit chart, as it were. And certain armor has advantages to different types of attack. So if it had a resistance to slashing, and you slashing, well then that's bad. But that being said, I'm not too worried about that. Let's just go with I feel like piercing's good because you're trying to hit the crystal inside. I feel like narratively that makes the most sense. Roll two d5 more, please. And then I'm gonna suffer knockback. We're at 12 damage already.
Both of them are 4s.
Okay, so that puts us at 20. All right. And now let's go up here. Just gotta check some stuff.
Oh boy.
Keep up the murdering.
So, you do a serious amount of damage to this thing, while it is still standing barely. So, like, you just...
Ow.
And it's kind of cavities blown back, and it's knocked back, so it's actually going to go flying back. And that's its action. That leaves us with, I believe, Ziathanya and or Rokar, who wants to go out of the two of you.
I'm willing to let Rokar give this a go.
Well,
Rokar,
thank
give this a
you.
go?
I really just want to see what happens. Sorry, guys.
So Rokar.
Plus, I'm busy
after
lighting
dodging-
cultists on fire.
Yeah. Rokar, after kind of dodging the attack, sliding across the ground, rolling with the kind of chest ripped open, revealing a nice oiled and well taken care of chest. Probably shaved recently. Kind of has a little V going on. But in any case,
This
he
was
lets
all during the
the
change. This is all during the clothing change, by the way.
he was down there for some time. Yeah, he has his sniper rifle up close to this creature with the shirt kind of off his shoulders, like a very nice kind of like Zai has, which is perfect. So he's just kind of like, yeah. He's gonna pop one in.
Don't miss.
That's 8 AC. Do you want to take an action to
Yeah.
aim? You should take an action to aim because it's moved since then.
Yeah.
When the ST says you should do it, just listen.
I am
Yeah, can you
not
increase the
because I have another action that I'm going to do
Oh.
with my remaining AP.
Alright.
Oh god.
Fair point.
So yeah, let's do it. Not even aiming. 360 no scope.
No.
This bitch. Come on, dice.
16 is bad. Give me your range check then.
Oh boy.
You have weapon use steam arms. That's what you're making.
Yeah, I wish I could. So
I've used my 2 reactions already to dodge. So okay. Is that a 3 or an 8?
got it. It's just a
Is it
3.
an 8? Look, it's a 3. All right, so that's a crit. Now I gotta look up. Crits. So hold on 1 second.
Yeah, crits do
What Adam
max
says
damage.
tonight.
No.
When
Making him do
I
work.
looked it up,
Oh, you look critical hit. Here it is. Gotcha. Critical hit effects. Critical hit doubles or defender's total SR. If the attacker's SR meets the defender's defense, it deals max damage. The max damage done by critical hit cannot be reduced by the armor advantage. Yada yada yada. Critical hit reactions. Defend. Oh, it's defending. Okay. That's gonna be painful. All right, so that's 22 penetrating damage. Yeah. So the thing gets
and then
knocked
the
back,
aim.
it's gonna...
The aim gives
I thought you should do aim.
more damage.
I thought you said you
Huh?
weren't aiming.
Oh yeah, no, sorry, I did not because I have something special in mind. Right.
Gotcha. All right. So, the automaton's trying to get up, and it will stand up, kind of in its broken like form, and then to do. Someone mentioned 80s Action Man, to quote a very good 80s movie, "Smile, you son of a bitch," as you let a round go, and the thing will explode.
For the muffin.
I mean, I could look up the death chart again, but yeah. But I like it blown up. Smile. you
Really?
son of a-
For the
He's not great at these,
What?
okay? The muffins are right next to him. He has muffins on his mind. He was really looking forward to that blueberry muffin.
He
That's
doesn't
why
care
you're not
about the
awarded.
stuff that he just destroyed that is priceless.
It's fine. I guess.
Don't worry about it.
Fine.
All right. So with that, okay. So it is Ziathania's turn.
Is the thing still alive?
No, it is dead, but I didn't know if you were going to start throwing more fire.
Yes.
Because the way you can create an object, and that's actually something I'd actually have to look up more specifically, but it sounded great. You were able to create fire through the magical barrier. What's your plan?
More fire.
More
Yeah.
fire? All right.
I just want every motherfucker and everything they wrote down to be on fire.
Gotcha.
I'm a simple gal.
Gotcha.
Fire and violence.
Cool. I like it. I like it.
So my
Alex?
calling cards.
Give me, so if you want to do, you already have the fire there. That will continually do damage. You've already cast the spell. You've made the shape. So, okay, so the way I see it, your fire is going to stay there for your willpower and success rating for rounds. So, I think your willpower is like 4, or your willpower success rating is 4.
Yeah.
So, it's going to burn there for 4 rounds. I didn't know if you can cast more fire, but that increases your flux. So, I just didn't know what your plan was.
How many of them still seem like alive and whatnot? As in, is it worth casting more fire because there's like 12 dudes, or there's like one in a corner?
So most of the angels, especially the extra that didn't even have name tags, they're on fire. They're not necessarily dead instantly because I don't. Your fire's not that intense, but they're definitely trying to beat out the fire that's on their arms and stuff like that. Yes.
I have a question, Zathania.
Mhm.
How much hatred is within you right now? Because I feel like that
Always
should so much. I guess there's the need for more fire.
So,
I feel like that was a
one's
question you
necessarily-
already answered to.
I just needed to know. Maybe it was directed at someone who's not me. So.
Sorry, you were
So
saying something.
rude.
So yeah,
Hey, there's still
it's-
Rokar.
I would say you have created fire in the next room, which is dangerous, but you have not created this like this. It's not hell on earth. It's not going to emoliate and melt everyone down to fine paste, but I'm hoping making sense. Like you're doing 1d5 damage to them. If you wanted to make more fire to create a larger space, so then they have to get through a hallway of fire, or you could do things like that.
Yes, that is what I would
Or
like
you
to do.
that is what you'd like to do. You could.
Fire under them, fire behind them, everything's ablaze.
So, thinking. All right. And I think I'm bending the magic rules a little bit now that I'm sitting here and looking at it, but that's okay. It's okay. If I make a mistake, we're just sticking with it.
Don't worry about it
that's
later.
Something I'll have to. Yeah, that's a worry about it later problem. It sounds tons of fun. My question for you is, if you want to make it hotter, you can always strain, but that puts you near your flux limit. Not over it, but near it.
Oh, well, I mean, it went so well for Einar. I think I gotta.
All right.
Let's
there we
get
go.
this
So,
success train running.
We are out of narrative round, so you would have to make a check
Sure.
to cast it, which is just a magic check.
Is that my weapons use shape?
No, you have just above that, you have magic.
Same thing.
It's pretty much. I'm just gotta check.
And so which stat am I trying to roll under?
Your willpower. Manifesting in combat. Oh, you just. Oh, never mind. You don't. No. You may
Well,
have to
good
roll.
though.
There you go. Sounds good. Because the big thing, you have to spend the action points depending on the spell that you're casting, which is probably determined by its intensity. That being said, you have a full. Yeah, I was like, you got a full round full of stuff, so you're good. All right, so throw it out there. You can feel, you particularly can really feel the flux building up within you. You start to emoliate that room. That's gonna get terrible for everyone inside. Yeah, so we're gonna drop out of combat. What's happening to you guys are still trapped in this room as the projector is kind of flickering in and out. On the other side of this wall of light, there is a terrible hallway of fire. You hear people screaming. What do we want to do?
I want to try and get that disc.
All right,
For
we're
the
gonna try to.
projector.
Just gotta.
Gotcha.
Do what you need to do.
Because I want to take that with me and put it in our other projector. I wish Tally was here right now. Tally needs to be here.
Exactly. Where's Tally when we need her? Give me a search check. That's going to be a perception check. I will be right back, everyone. I've just got to grab a quick drink, but you go ahead and roll that, and I will shut off my camera for a hot second.
Okay, that is 2. 2 successes.
GM's
is good
gone.
enough, right?
Yeah.
I'm the GM now.
I'm okay
That
with
makes
this.
sense.
No, I'm not. I have no idea what I'm doing.
Then I want even more.
Yeah, more fair. Hey, now instead of like a little face thing, can like his entire side be like fires? He needs to look like a real bad guy.
Absolutely, I rule this.
Alright.
Oh, hi, Adam.
Oh, yeah. All right, so you've got you had 2 success ratings
I
left over.
left over.
All right, so what's going to happen narratively at this point in time is you guys are kind of trapped. The fire is raging on the other side. And so you're just like going around grabbing at panels the best you can on this dais, Raya. Like, you know, where is it? Where is it? You're saying frantically to yourself. At that point in time, though, the tone that kind of goes over the loudspeaker, as it were, changes to a very frightening rhythm, as suddenly you hear a ping and then ping, as now fire is starting to dissipate in the other room, but you realize the intense heat has caused the structure to get weakened, and now the water pressure is starting to rush in.
Yeah, that checks out.
Ooh. So, that being said, as the water's filling up, the energy field is holding it back. So, what's everyone else doing while Raya is just looking for something, and you guys see that this place is now, it's no longer on fire, but it's now filling up with water.
Desperately looking for an exit.
Yeah, you said
Alright.
the person pressed something on the wall and then stepped back, and the little shield
Yeah, they
came
had a
down. I'm gonna start.
That's how I saw it.
Yeah, with my gun, I'm gonna start like poking around that area. Like,
Where'd the
Okay.
automaton come from?
The
Yeah.
automaton came from a doorway that is, that would be kind of, I guess, it's the opposite direction. So you walk in, this is where the force field is, dais in the middle, it's over here.
I'm
you
gonna
could
go
go
check
into
where
that
it came
area.
from. Yeah.
Gotcha. You know what? No, I like that idea. Okay, so
Likewise.
I'm not even gonna have you roll for it because it's more narratively appropriate. So this room itself it's got various things and tubes that were attached to the automaton. That being said, though, as you look up, there is a small, very narrow tube that goes up.
I bet that'd work.
Yeah.
it's fine with me. Let's go.
Right.
Better than
All right,
drowning.
Rhea,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm not gonna have you roll. So, Rhea, you were able to, after Ziathania's like, we could go up, you're able to find what you think might be the disc, but as the energy field is starting to buckle under the water pressure, do you want to stay and find out?
How much time do I have left?
I don't know. How much do you want to push it, Indiana Jones?
Right. Yeah.
You know what?
We'll
You guys
leave you
go.
here to die.
Go. I can use the water pressure to shoot up the tube.
Raya, if
That's
you
not
die
how
here,
they
Did you learn lies with you?
And if we don't have the disc, we can't go anywhere. Everything was for
Well,
nothing.
not here.
Rhea's gonna take a few extra seconds just to double check.
All right, I love it. Okay,
Get back,
as
Rhea.
you guys what'd you say, Rokar? I'm sorry.
Rokar's gonna stay with help.
Xanthantha and Einar are just standing there like,
All right, so the energy, the wall of light and water trickle through, and you can see little holes develop. And as you guys stay behind and grab a hold of a few more innards of this dais, and then the water it kind of bubbles out and start to rush in. That would probably be your cue to go.
Cue to go.
What I'm going to
Yep.
need from everyone is, hold on here, I got to check, like, everyone. you
Y'all
have
could
to
have
do
started
strength
going.
Yeah. A strength or an acrobatics check, depending on if you have it, to start your swimming. I'm going to, since you decided to stay behind to get additional information, everyone is down 2 success rating on this check.
Great.
Oh.
sorry, which
Strength
stat was it we
or
were
which-
rolling?
With
So either
strength or
strength or
agility? Oh,
athletics.
athletics.
It's a strength check as well. Not everyone has the athletics skill. That being said, everyone gets +2 success rating because this is a hazard of the
Yep.
and pitfalls of this
Okay.
place. So yeah, there you go. So it was a
Thank God.
-2, now it's a +2. So you're rolling at your stat.
Eight.
7.
All right, I got 8, 7. Ziatham,
5.
5. There you go. 5. Wait.
No,
okay, what
that's
were you trying to
that's
say
a
about-
-1. I failed.
Oh, okay, so gotcha. So you all right? All right. So if everyone is trying to get out, you guys go through this tube, which is not really meant for you to go through necessarily. So it's got various wires and protrusions. That's gonna, Rokar's Inquisitor jacket is already getting ripped up more.
He's
Eventually,
butt
they're gonna
naked
get
by
to
the
a
time
point.
he comes out.
Yeah, you do find a point that water is rushing out of and leads actually to the ocean, and you guys are making it. We're gonna say for a little bit you climb, because this is you climb where the water catches up to you, but eventually the water's behind you because they're like, crawling through the tubes. But you get stuck, Rhea, on some cord that's got you. I am going to actually. Rokar said he was with you. He's the only one in this narrow passage that can come back and get you. So, what do we do? Rokar?
Yeah. What does abandon or
Oh,
do?
man.
Yeah.
This is so like.
Do not old Eller the archaeologist.
Not gonna make
No, I
it.
love it. No. So, Rokar,
No,
are you
I'm going
try
to-
free here?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab her and start yanking and like biting the rope with my teeth.
May I offer
Um,
another suggestion?
Or any other
Or I may
suggestions.
listen.
Yeah.
All right. So, I like your pulling count, but instead you're gonna shoot off the pipe that's holding her. Because I like that narratively, where you're like, sorry, and you point the gun, she's like, no, and you shoot it off.
No.
I think that just plays.
That works, yeah.
And Xanthantha and Einar are like, did you hear something?
Yeah, I'm like,
And all you hear
I like
is,
living, so
"You
no.
shot at me!
You shot me. You lived. There you go.
You shot
allegedly.
You know what?
Oh, no.
I love it. You're not even gonna roll. Here's what's gonna happen. He does, in fact, shoot off the thing holding you, but he does also shoot your leg. So now you can not only Ziathanya been left on an island, he shot you. So I love it. So there you go. So, yeah, exactly.
Allegedly.
There are no witnesses.
Allegedly.
I have no idea.
It doesn't
So
matter.
you
we're
turn
still.
around, aim the steam rifle at Ray. He's like, "Oh no, what are you doing?" You're like, "I'm sorry." Boom. You shoot her off, but you also shoot her leg, and she's like, "Ah!" And you're dragging her through. You
I'm
eventually
gonna shut the
get to
fuck up and
porthole.
grab my shoulders.
I don't know. I just hear a lot of screaming, so that I think we should just keep going.
Yeah.
Good
You guys
plan.
open the porthole by touching a nice little, like I said, there's engravings, so the terrible flute sound of you guys trying to figure out the console. And it eventually opens. Water starts rushing in, and that holds you in there for just a few minutes as eventually the equilibrium of the water balances out, and you guys are able to rise to the surface. And that is where we will end it here tonight. I can't think of any way better to end it. So, I hope everyone had a good time with our 4th episode here of the Nuadan Chronicles.
I don't know what I
what's wrong?
expected.
Not
Drop the audio
this.
on your sorry.
Hey,
So,
hey! I'm alive. I don't care.
Yeah,
I got
she
the
was hit
map.
by.
I
She
got
was
the
hit by a
map.
bullet. We don't know where it came from, but let's just move on past it.
I would say that
Get
it's
the
your
pretty
job to
good
carry
guess.
me back, but I think I'm gonna have Anar or Zathania carry me back with your robe is falling apart, and
Yeah,
missing everywhere,
like
so,
scraps of cloth.
like
Alright,
I'm
well,
wounded.
I hope-
Anar, please help me.
I hope everyone had a good time here on our 4th episode of the Nuadan Chronicles. If you're enjoying the game world, which we all are, the backer kit is reopened for you to pre-order the game. So I'll leave it to you guys. Great if you went and supported them. It's an interesting world. The art is looking amazing, so go check it out. That being said, let's go ahead and re-thank our sponsors before we go ahead and everyone says goodbye. Thanks again, Black Void Games, Evil Hat Productions, Christopher Gray, Smunchy Games, Buddy Norwal, Arukana Media, and of course, Broken Dice Games, or Broken Dice rather, for sponsoring specifically this show and what we're doing for them.
Sorry.
Oh, we have a dog. It's it's okay.
I'd like to
It's
thank
all right.
Beckett for all of his love and support.
Gotcha.
Number
That
one
being
fan
said-
of every show.
Exactly. Yeah, he is. We can hear him sometimes quite often. But we're going to go around, say goodbye, talk about any other projects we're doing very quickly. Bye, everyone. I'm Adam. I'm the Vampire Interpreter. I do several streaming shows on this channel. I do Sinners and Saint over on TTRP Theater. I do Silver and Blood on Zweihander, but if you are interested about a game called Cthulhu Tech, I'll be talking about it on the show The Vampire Interprets tomorrow. If you want to hear about just different topics in gaming, I hope it's a fun show. It's me just talking to special guests and things like that. So, yes. So, goodbye from me. Let's jump over to John. Oh, of course.
Yes. Hello, everybody. I'm John.
How
You
dare
can
you,
find
human
me
beings.
online, right? Hello from Jonathan. You can find me online in multiple variations of the username Nox Aeternus. Besides being able to find my previous work on Sinners and Saints over on TTRP Theater, you can also find me on TikTok under the hashtag Exeter by Night Digital Art Project.
Let's go over because Mitch has got a bunch of stuff and he's gonna just suck up some time. So we'll jump back over to you, real quick. But hey, you got a bunch of stuff, and then it's gonna be all that, and then these guys got to follow it up. So we gotta end with you. Sorry,
Yeah.
Alex, go ahead. Or over here.
Isn't it Catherine?
Alex, go.
Alex.
It's all-
Alex. You can find you can find me on Instagram as a redhead vixen, where I talk about all of my other modeling and cosplay type projects. You can also see me this Saturday, where I will be playing the Toreador Cassandra on Vancouver Adjacent by night. You can find me on the same channel as them two, because I was also in the Sinners and Saints game. And that is it for me for right now.
And you, Catherine.
Bye for me. So, Catherine, you can find me on Instagram at smallfry. If you also want to see me as the wonderful Mary and the twin sister Magdalene, go check out Sinners and Saints on TFB Theater. And yeah, nice talking with you guys.
All right.
Now we can
and
finally let
last
Mitch
but
do his
certainly
thing.
not, last but certainly not least, we will let Mitch. But that being said, when Mitch is done, we're going to go raid another channel, and I just want to give you guys a kind of an intro on what that is. So go ahead.
All right. I feel like I'm challenged to just have one thing to say, but I won't. Jamal,
If you
at,
don't stop talking. All
tomorrow
one
at
word.
the one sentence. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. I'll be on Valjith's Twitch channel. You can check that out, which of course will be on the Pay for a Tale Discord. See what happens. I'll be playing the wholesome satyr, sexy man. Post that later on that day. I'll be on Fableforge doing D&D again. So definitely check that out. Thursday afternoon is Mora, which I am GMing Magical Academy Fun Shenanigans. And then post that, I'm a player on Parsley right afterwards. This Friday, of course, on Polish Cryptids, I will be continuing to run In Time. Kickstarter just ended, but pre-order should be coming up very soon. Furthermore, Black Void Games has a Kickstarter coming out this summer. So if you're interested in like miniatures and all these other cool things, it'll be really cool. There's a lot of cool like monsters and stuff taken from their world that will also be D&D 5e compatible. And finally, this May, I have a TTRPG game coming up on Kickstarter, which is the English version of the Italian game El Ingranaggio. The English version is Necropunk. So if you're interested in post-apocalyptic TTRPGs using a card system in a world where grandma, after being a corpse, is in charge of farming and chopping wood. If that interests you and you like dark stuff and just Italian stuff, definitely check it out. Necropunk coming May. And just follow me for new pictures, art, and sorts of shenanigans. So yeah, that's it for me.
All right, everybody. I think we're done. We're going to be if you stick around for a hot second, we're going to be raiding a friend of ours, a streamer. He's not running it, but the Vancouver by Night will be the story of that is in a game. We're going to stop by and say hello. So I hope you stick around. Just say hi to them, and if you like it, maybe keep watching. So with that, I will see you guys next week for episode 5. Take care and goodbye.
These are the tales we weave. Tales of magic. Tales of mystery. Tales exploring the beyond. And while we continue to grow, even more adventures await. In the depths of the unknown. Will you join us in the telling?